Right guys, welcome to the first episode of our football podcast here on YouTube. In today's episode we're going to be talking about the Premier League top 6, or the usual Premier League top 6 anyway, considering Arsenal didn't make it. But you know.
We will chat a little bit about Leicester as well, who finished 5th this season, capitulate a little bit. But guys, for future reference, if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to ask us and we can answer, comment in the comment section below or follow us on Twitter. The link to our Twitter will be in the description below.
Right, let's get straight into the team. One of these things is not like the other, and that's Arsenal. Not in the top 6 this season. They finished 8th.
We're gonna sort of go through all the teams that we mentioned. There is 7 of the teams, obviously, with Leicester as well. But we're gonna sort of say our best and worst player that we think.
Give them a bit of a grade at the end of it.
We're gonna grade them.
Talk about the main talking points of the season, basically, with each team.
And we are gonna start at Arsenal. And it's something easy. The best player of the season.
Aubameyang.
Has to be Aubameyang. Like he's
what was
really
it? 1 goal off the top scorer, I think, was it?
It was 22
goals.
Behind Bardi,
got 23, yeah.
That
scored that goal in the in the final, 2 goals in the final.
And the semis against City. Like no one thought they would get a breather against City.
No. He saved their season. He completely took them over, and it looks like he's going to sign a new deal. So I'm sure they'll be happy.
Yeah, very
happy to see that. Like
in the same week that they let 55 people go, but
yeah,
be a stingy from
not great. No, that's shocking. Like you can't just fucking, you can't just do that. Like you can't just sack people, and it's only 2.5 million
in the same
a year,
week, and then give fucking 6 million extra to
yeah,
player. Anyway, worst player. There's probably a couple of players that we could say here.
David Luiz. He's up there.
He's up there, doesn't he?
He's definitely
does have to be up there.
If we were down a worst signings 11, he'd be in that anyway.
You see, but there has been games where he's actually
performed. But it's just he's made.
But he's always been like that.
He's every season.
Every season he is like that.
Right? He plays some brilliant games. He needs. I think he works well in in a tree at the back. I remember that one season with Chelsea
because he has some cover.
Because he just jumps out and does his own fucking thing, but.
He likes to play like a CDM when he's playing centre back, sort of. He steps
and that can work. And he's a good player. He plays out from defence well. Like he does all that stuff.
He's a good ball player.
He's good with that. And even Mustafi's actually had a decent season since Arteta's come in. Anyway.
Yeah. Rob Holding obviously is up there and Saliba to come back in.
Yeah.
But
me definitely still need another centre back.
Yeah, 100%. I would say David Luiz is probably the worst
player of the season. Is there any other candidates? Can't really think of anyone else.
Ozil.
Well, Jesus Christ.
I mean,
it
would obviously, I would say, be like he's on over 300 grand a week, and he hasn't done anything.
Absolutely shocking. Like,
but for me to be worst player of the season, like you have to play. Yeah. I would say, and he hasn't really played it. His time is up at Arsenal. I don't know anyone who's going to pin a paid wages.
No one is, but he has to make the decision himself. Then, like, does he want to stay on the bench for the rest of his fucking contract, or does he want to actually make all the money, or does he want to go out and actually play football?
Because he is top
draw. He's a world-class player on his day. Like
on his day, he's like second to none.
But he hasn't. He's had about 2 assists in the last 4 seasons or something. So it's not. I
seen the stat the other day. It was most assists in the season, and Ozil was in it. Like, and I was just like, Jesus Christ! Like, what happened? It was like 2, 3 or 4 seasons ago. He was there in the fucking top. Don't mind that. I live in a very, very underprivileged area. Lovely area. But yeah, like I don't really want to grade Arsenal season yet. Maybe we should just talk about what's going on. But like for me, Arteta since he's come in has been. He's done really well. You can see
the progression.
You can see the progression, and the FA Cup for me papered over some. Like they finished 8th, and they just about finished. Like if they didn't win the last game of the season, it would have been 9th or 10th. Like, and that's.
Unless the jury might have been 9th, but if they had lost that game, it would have been.
That's like unacceptable for me. Like here's the thing: they spent 100 million, and I know Arteta didn't spend that last season, but they spent like they've Pepe, they've Aubameyang, they've Lacazette.
Ceballos come in and all. People say
and he didn't kick on. In fairness, like it was only when Arteta came in that he started to kick on a little bit, especially since
that's kind of what we have to deal with these fucking things. Is that we have to judge them from where we saw them at the start of the season. Like it's hard to look at teams and be like, oh well, he should be doing that, or he should be doing this, or he shouldn't be doing that, or he shouldn't be doing this because the squad is right. But if you look at the Arsenal team at the start of the season, I had predicted them to finish.
Challenge the top 4. At least challenge the top 4, and they finished 10th. And I think the FA Cup win. Look, he's won a trophy, and it's brilliant. But I think it's hard to say it's papered over cracks. Like it's hard to say they've progressed and then say, well, has he done enough? And in the same sort of. You know what I mean?
They have
it's just it's frustrating, I would say.
See, it's hard to you can't really say, even if the results aren't going well, you can see the progression on the pitch with them. Like, you can see how they're playing much better. Like they're playing
as together. Like
they're kind of playing counter attack in a lot of games. They're not really. They're not really playing possession. Like it's not like a Pep Guardiola like tiki taka style that they're playing really.
No, Mick Arteta's putting his own spin on it. Look, he looks to be go in the right direction. Like I think a couple of additions, I would say mainly to the defence. I think
especially. I think left back Tierney's looking good. Tierney's looking really good.
Yeah, he's a great sign. He was. For me personally, I think when he came in, I knew straight away he was a great sign. I think
it was only 20 million or 15 million.
If even, yeah, was it? I think it was 13-15 million, was it? Could be wrong on that, guys. Don't quote me on that, but it wasn't much money. Like in today's market, and look, obviously after COVID-19, prices might go down a little bit. Obviously, City and Man United might put them back up.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do think like now teams sort of, not that they want to sell, but they sort of have to sell now, and I think they're sort of taking now what they can get for players.
But see, we talk about the COVID market, but like Nate Naka, I don't think he would have went for like more than 40 million in the non-COVID market, to be honest. Like, especially with a relegated team.
Maybe not. Oh well, I think the relegation done it as well. But then again, that's City. You know, they will just pay whatever they need to spend. And
clubs know that they can spend, so I suppose that makes it
like whereas
a bit differently.
If Arsenal go in for 90 like I don't.
Probably would have been 30 maybe.
Yeah, you might get him for 30 million. Maybe. Look, I could be wrong, and the board might have said, look, we want 50 million for him, and that's it. And Man City got down to 41 for all I know. But I don't know. In today's market, in the market last year, Kieran Tierney for 13 million was a snippet. Like it was a bargain.
It's a proper bargain.
I think Kolasinac.
He's alright. He's not. He's good going forward. He's not. He's shite defensively. Like he's awful.
Yeah, he's really bad defensively. And in fairness, Kieran Tierney's been playing left centre back in the last couple of games.
Kolasinac has, I think, wasn't he? And Tierney was playing left wing back. I think.
No, I don't. I think they play was a Maitland-Niles or Saka at left.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're right actually. Yeah.
And he's actually been rock solid. Like.
Yeah.
I mean, they do lose his sort of attacking prowess when they play him at centre back, but he's been solid.
Yeah, and that
fucking. For me personally, they need a centre back. I would probably say 2 centre backs. So I know Saliba's coming back, and he looks a decent player.
Well, we haven't seen him. We don't know.
I haven't seen much.
But I think they need like an experienced fucking leader. Well, that's the thing that people talk about with David Luiz, especially Arsenal fans. They'll say that in the dressing room he's been a proper leader, like, and he's turned the thing around a bit. Like, but he's just.
For me, he doesn't do it for me. No. And if Arsenal are looking to go top 4 and beyond, for me he can't start.
Yeah.
He doesn't start in his back top on a top 4 team. He doesn't start.
No, he doesn't
in a top 6 team, he doesn't start.
Not anymore. Maybe
I think there's even questions getting into Leicester, and if being an Arsenal fan, you have to be considering that you're better than Leicester. You have to, you know what I mean. So for me, he doesn't get into Leicester.
See, but if Arsenal don't have money, like what, I don't know what they're gonna. I know Willian's coming in on a free transfer, but like what else are they gonna do this summer? Because I think they still need to sort of. Is Bayern staying? I don't know. Is he?
I think they need to sell. Like, do they sell like is it?
I probably would, to be honest. Like, but they need it. They still need a striker because I think Aubameyang.
They need to really spend more money on a striker.
See, people talk about like Aubameyang's best position being a striker, but yeah, it probably is. But in the way football's going now, like forwards are playing wide more. Like you're seeing Salah and Mane, and like the way that's where the space in behind comes. Like you can't really get him.
They like to come in and get him behind, and I would definitely agree with that.
So I think, and Lacazette is a good link player. Like he can drop in.
Yes, he does have that. Like he has
his goal scoring record has been shocking this season. Like I think he's only got 1 goal away in the last 2 years or something. But
here's the thing about with goal scoring, and obviously being a Liverpool fan, it's easy for me to say, but obviously a striker should be scoring. I get that. But your striker, for me, if your striker isn't scoring and your wingmen aren't scoring, then there's something wrong.
Yeah.
But if your striker isn't scoring but he's helping and the wingers are scoring more goals, and I don't mean just solely assisting them, because he doesn't have to, but I mean he's involved, he's winning the ball back high, and he's I'm really talking about for me.
I know,
you know what I mean? But I think Lacazette offers Arsenal something like that
he
too.
Does. But is he a bit old? Is he getting like? I don't know.
And I think. But that's it. That's the only thing I'm asking, because of how Arsenal's finances are and how they work.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
not saying they're poor, they have money, but
what would they get from 30 mil probably?
I don't know.
Market, like, maybe. I mean, what was he? 29, 30?
29, 30, I think. Yeah.
Like I can't see him.
It's hard to get. Yeah, it is hard to get 50 mil. Like even without fucking COVID-19 prices, like
I can't see
it's hard to get 50 mil for a 30-year-old.
Yeah. I think
so. Then it's a case, do you hang on?
Yeah, and then who? Like, because if you sell for 30, like, you're going to bring in 2 players 15 mil each. Like, are you going to get a 15 million striker that's good enough?
For me, Arsenal need to sell. They need to sell. But who they sell, I don't know. Like Xhaka, does Xhaka go?
He's actually been.
He was being linked away, and since Arteta's come in for me, he stepped up. His game has stepped up.
I remember at the start of the season when he was fucking throwing his captain's arm around and going mental. Fucking.
He was gone.
Yeah, that looked like it was
it. Like, there. I think there was no one offers an offer. Was it Hertha Berlin? things like that were coming in
that was happening. And it looked like he was done, but then he's stripped of the captaincy and everything. But
Arteta came in, settled him down, told him he needs him, and put an arm around him, and that's what he needed. And Arteta's done that. His man management has, for me, on the outside looking in.
He looks like he looks like a good manager. Like he looks like
someone
that will be,
especially
the way he's come up with Pep. He's come up, and people even back in the day have been saying, well, they said about Roy Keane and shit as well. But people that worked with as players said that he looked like the person that was going to go on to be a good manager. But there's another Guendouzi as well. I don't know what's happened with him.
He wants out.
But I don't even know.
I think Arteta wants him out.
I think, and it's not even because of his ability. I think he's just a bit of a prick. I think because remember the Bruyne incident.
You cash in on Guendouzi then. I think you do. Or Torreira.
They
do need the sacrifice. They need the sacrifice.
Torreira or Guendouzi.
Guendouzi, he might have a good performance. Torreira, not since Arteta, I wouldn't say. He's been one of the better players, I think.
Last season he probably was, but he hasn't really got.
Aubameyang for me has probably been the best player for the last couple of seasons.
Obviously, 100%.
There's no question that. I think Torreira has been okay, and I think
he hasn't played much this season, has he?
No, not this season. I'm saying before Arteta, I think he was up there. He was one of the better players performance-wise. But Arteta's come in and he's changed things. They do have Ceballos. I think they're trying to get him. I don't know if it's another loan deal or a permanent deal.
No, I think they're meant to be looking for a permanent. That's 20 mil at least, for him.
Minimum 20 mil. And Arsenal don't have a lot of money, so you're spending 100 odd grand a week on Willian to come in.
Yeah.
You have Pepe. I don't get what sort of system they're going to play there. They've only spent 70 million. I'd say they'll be probably still paying some of that 70 million this season. There might be installments and stuff like that.
They're linked with your man. We're as in Man United fan, but linked with your man Gabriel.
Centre back.
And Arsenal linked with him as well. Arsenal meant to be in for him as well.
I've seen that, 20 million. I think they do need a midfield. A centre back.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they need a centre mid as well.
Yeah.
And then if they're going to look for a striker to replace, I don't see where the money's coming from. I think Willian might be their only attacking option. I've seen a lot of Coutinho rumours.
Yeah, Coutinho, I think that might actually happen. That's what I think they need. But I don't think is Arteta really playing with a number 10.
But I don't get their system. Is Willian cover?
I think so. Yeah. Don't think he's starting. I think he's.
But then I don't my whole thing. Right, so Chelsea had to offer him a deal.
Yeah.
Right. Chelsea in Champions League. And maybe he's just done with Chelsea. Doesn't want it. So maybe surely for me, the only reason why Willian would leave Chelsea and go and sign for Arsenal personally, unless it's money thing, I don't think Chelsea would have been stuck for money. They're at spending 100 million nearly already. For me, surely he's offered them some promise of playing.
Yeah, but maybe he did just get more money off Arsenal.
Is Pepe going to swap over to right and Aubameyang going to go striker?
Maybe, but I genuinely don't think, because Saka.
And then Lacazette comes out.
Saka is meant to be
Saka and Ketia looks okay. Saka's been playing further back at left wing back.
Well,
and I've also seen there's talk that he wants to change to 4-3-3. That's why they're linked with Thomas Partey.
That's why. But Coutinho can't probably play in that.
He could play. I think he played a bit like that for Liverpool before he left.
Yeah.
Sort of in the centre mid attacking role, sort of.
So he could play there. So
and if they get Partey and Xhaka, wouldn't be too bad. Or I think is it Partey and then Ceballos.
Well, Ceballos, but
see sort of box to box.
I can't see see the way
they have a lot of attacking intent. That's me. That's
Partey
the whole.
Is kind of box to box as well, but I think so was Fabinho. I think with Monaco, but I think he is a player because I remember when in that Liverpool game, Partey just kind of sat there and he
was top.
That was one of the best performances I've seen this season, from any player.
He was absolutely amazing. I hate admitting it, but he was top drawer, absolutely top drawer. I think he'd be for me. I'm not going to jump onto Man United, but Man United, if he's available 45 million, needs to be done.
Like it should be.
And Arsenal, for me, should already
but they have money. Apparently, isn't he?
They have money. Surely they have. I don't know.
If they
don't have money and they do have money.
If they don't have 2 million a year, how are they going to?
But they're offering an extra 6 million a year, 5 million.
Willian for 130 grand a week doesn't make sense.
I don't get it. Look.
The club is a shit show.
It is.
Absolute shit show.
It is, and look, Arteta, it was a big job when he came in.
It
was a big job when he came in. It was never going to be to get a trophy in his first in a half a season or 3/4 of a season. Is actually very when you look in depth at it. From the outside looking in, they finished 8th and won the FA Cup, and you're thinking Arsenal fans are overreacting, comparing them to Klopp and Pep, which they are because Jesus Christ. But maybe compare Klopp when he first came in,
Even comparing them to Ollie at this stage is fucking ridiculous.
But Klopp is just win the league. You don't compare Klopp in the league and then Arteta in the same season. Give it a while, let it settle down, and then maybe compare them if you want them. But yeah, I think there's a big rebuild job there, Arteta. I think he started off well. But you see, based on a season and to grade them, I would give them maybe a D, just to pass.
Oh, a D.
I think a D obviously being grades is a pass. A C, a D or a C because he's got a cup, but they finished 8th.
That's the thing. I think with the cup it brings up to a C. I think the cup.
Yeah, maybe I'm being a bit harsh, mate. But mate, I'm gonna leave it at a D because I think it's just a pass. I think to qualify or to push and like especially considering how poor like Leicester were gone. Leicester had it wrapped up and the results were terrible. If Man United could push up and get into the third spot, it means if Arsenal been anyway consistent and performed to a decent level, they could have been up there challenging. Whatever about they didn't make it. Like they finished.
And so I think under Emery they were ahead of us for a lot of the time when he was there. Like
possibly,
for the start of the season,
possibly.
I think he was. But because I remember we were fucking 10th at one stage.
It was. I mean, he has steadied the ship in that way, but I just think his league. Maybe he's just said, fuck the league. Let me just focus on the cup, and we'll prioritise the cup and see can we get a trophy and qualify for Europa League.
Yeah.
But I think next year it has to be a top 4 push.
Has to be. Well,
because they have.
I don't see them. I don't see
it either. But like if you're gonna put Arteta up there and call him Klopp and call him Pep and compare them with these managers, next year it has to be a top 4.
It depends on who they get. I think if they get someone like a Coutinho and if they get a party and if he gets the players he wants.
I don't get not in my head. There's not a chance of getting them.
I think
Coutinho is
I think what will happen with Coutinho. I think he'll go alone
deal.
again. I think Coutinho will probably go alone to them again.
They're talking 18 million for a loan fee.
High,
that's a lot of money. Like if you're gonna, you might as well go 30 million and buy a player.
Yeah.
Or else 30 million and buy Gabriel at centre back. Because for me,
20 million get Grealish in like fucking someone that can play in that role.
I think Coutinho would be a better option than Grealish.
Maybe.
Look, Grealish has done. He's done brilliant for Villa.
I think James Rodriguez is available for like 25 million or something.
Cup price, yeah.
So
I think Thiago's there for 30 million.
Yeah. Come on,
he can play Cam, and he can play in the box to box. He can play DM. He can play wherever the fuck you want. But I think a centre back, a defensive reinforcing is what they need. I think Willian as an attacker, fair enough. But I think if they don't sign midfielders, I think a centre back they need 2 centre backs for me.
I don't know, maybe
they 100% need
one. Depends on how Saliba comes in. It depends on how Rob Holding can play next season. I don't know. He's
and depend on what way they're going to go forward. Like, do you see 5 at the back? I don't know.
I think 4-3-3 probably will be what they end up going with.
But I don't. Right now, based on who they've signed, I don't see 4-3-3 working. Look, the window's only open, then I'm very quick off the button here.
It's the same. I feel like in the world, like they've tried to shoehorn Jacket in as a defensive mid, and it's just never really worked. Like he's always better when he's like kind of a centre mid, like a box to box player.
Maybe,
I don't think he worked. He's not. I just don't think he's aware enough. Like he's not
maybe
switched
it's me.
on.
I've always seen Jacket as a CDM. Like not that he's top class as a CDM, but just as a player, I've always seen him as that CDM.
I don't know, like every time I've seen
like
him
if you say Jacket, like I don't think box to box. I think like
he's not quick enough really to be box to box, but I think he's more like a deep line playmaker type player. Like he's like someone who just kind of tries to keep the game taken over, but his passing and his shooting are like technically he's really good. He's physically not great, and I think he's just not switched on sometimes. Like so,
he's that's why midfield,
and that's why you get like the big differences in performances with him. Like some players are like that, where like when they're at their best they're unbelievable, but some like for most of the season they're not. Like they're just not switched on. They're not, and they can get run past the midfield and stuff like.
So if you had to sell, say, 2 players from Arsenal right now, who would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one. Ozil would be number 1 if you could get rid of him 100%.
Is it just it? But how much do you think he'll get money for?
I'd get him over free probably. To be honest, like I do with Sanchez with him, like because I just
swap deal maybe.
Maybe a swap deal with someone like because maybe if Bayern see him as something because he's German, I don't fucking know. I don't know.
I think he needs a manager that's going to play him every week, and
he needs to play.
He needs to be playing in a dominant squad for me because for me Arsenal aren't as dominant. Like if he was playing in someone like City, say.
He needs a free. Well,
he doesn't suit City like Pep's whole team. But my whole point is that he needs to play for a team that's absolutely dominating and needs to look for them little passes. And like Arsenal were a bit more on top when he first came in than they are now for me.
Yeah, 100%. He weren't out of the top 4
like
for 20 years.
He was there and he was able to pick them passes and you know what I mean. But now he needs to walk and he needs to get back and he needs to, and he doesn't have it and he doesn't offer it. And that's where for me Arteta's fell out with him and doesn't like him.
And every manager he's had, like his last 3 managers haven't really played him. Did Lundberg even come in and play him? I don't even think he did. But Emery didn't. Emery hated him.
That's really when it fell off, wasn't it? Like
them 2 were basically in a war. But then you would think, Arteta comes in, he's probably gonna start playing. You're gonna see Ozil back. But I don't think he suits the system. It's hard sometimes because so like a lot of like people are moving like them classic kind of number 10 players, like they're kind of fading out a little bit.
Yeah, because it's all it's all fullback sort of. But at the same time, like Bruno Fernandes, you could say.
Yeah, and that was the one. That's the one exception to that. But I think Fernandes.
And then could you say City if you talk about City because of how dominant they are?
Just sit there.
Is De Bruyne and Cam?
I think he.
Like, do they need to play with two cams and a holder?
But the way they play, they drop in and like they press and they do all that. Like someone who just, it's not like that.
Like you might notice, say when they play like Liverpool to Man United, it's probably not all the time, but they sort of play the good one in there, like as a midfielder, and play with the one because obviously you have Fernandinho or Rodri playing there, so he's.
I think in big games, the 4-3-1 is still a very good system to use, like because I think having them two holders in there rather than two players like in centre mid, it works for Liverpool because it's all functional players kind of like. But with like say United or whatever, with like a Fernandes and a 10 and then two players sitting behind them rather than having the two players bombing on and just one that's sitting in there, I think you get overrun that. And I think especially with a 4-3-3, when you're playing against a 4-3-3, having a like you can play man to man then, like you can play the two holders against the two pushing on and then the 10 against the DM like. But
you see, yeah, I suppose like really you want your cam getting in between the
but just when off the ball, ball like when you're defending like,
cover.
Yeah. You can
have Ozil doesn't offer that. Like
no,
even if he's given the Fernandinho, like, you sit on Fernandinho, he doesn't do it. He's very lazy.
Well, Fernandes is a 10, but he also drops deep, he presses, he does everything.
That's what you need from a 10 now. That's
you can't just have someone sitting there.
I would agree with you in some way that like, they are fading, like as many teams aren't using the 4-3-1, but I don't think they're fading out in a way. I think they're not just looking for technical ability as you can now. You need to have the full package. You need to be a workhorse, and you need to constantly be pressing and full of energy and have that technical ability as well. And Ozil for me lacks everything
else. He has the technical ability, but he doesn't have anything else.
So I think maybe a Barcelona or a Bayern might suit him.
Because they're just
someone who dominates the games and you get him on the ball and he can open up defences. So unless they're interested,
I heard a few years ago, which doesn't make sense to me. Like it might have been a year or so ago now that Simeone was looking at him for Atletico, but how he just would not suit that system at all. No. But they keep making weird signings like that, like Lamar and stuff. I just don't see him as.
I don't know if he's like. I think when he signed, he was a good sign. Like Arsenal only bid 90 million.
60 million for him or something.
The season before Arsenal bid 90 million. Where did that money go?
Yeah, they didn't buy. Who else did they spend?
We were on Arsenal. Like the 90 million they spent. Well, it was a 92.
Was that Wenger's last season?
Possibly.
I think it might have been.
In fairness, you can say where it go to.
But then after that, they brought in in January. Then they brought in Aubameyang. But how much was that? That was 50 million.
And then Lacazette, did both of them come in?
Did they both come in January that season? I think Lacazette signed at the start of that season, did he not?
Maybe.
I think he might. I think he did. Maybe.
So that's where it went then.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, we're swaying off a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal.
You're going D, I'm going C. I can't. FA Cup win, I think, brings you up a grade.
Yeah, maybe I'm being harsh.
I don't think if without the FA Cup win, it would have been like an E or an F.
I think it would have.
Really?
Like so they don't get a FA Cup and they finish 8th. And you think that's
a
pass?
D, I'd say probably a D. D
minus. I don't. I see that as that's a fail. You failed. Because 8, you don't get Europa or nothing. If they can't get Europa League, and to be honest, it's not like do you know what they were doing? They were challenging for it for the whole season, and they just fell out the last couple of days. They were 10th, and they only made 8 by winning the last game of the season.
Yeah, that's true.
So for me, it's been a fail. Like they maxed at 8. It wasn't like they felt 8. They fucking maxed at 8. So for me, they were a mid-table team this season, and Arsenal should be a mid-table team. And I think any time that Arsenal finish outside top 6 is a fail of a season.
Yeah.
I do get. Look, it's a hard.
It's hard to give someone a D after they won the FA Cup.
It is. Maybe a C.
C minus.
Maybe I could go with a C minus. Maybe I could. Just with the FA Cup. But it's just then it's hard that if they don't win the FA Cup, they fail.
Yeah.
But look, I'll be nice to you Arsenal fans. I'll give you a C only because I want you just to beat Chelsea, and I'm glad you did. And I think Aubameyang's a really good player. So go on, I'll give you a C. I'll give you a C.
Didn't have him as relegated.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true.
C minus for Arsenal. Right, we need to move on from Arsenal.
Yeah, we're spieling on a little bit.
Chelsea. Started off really well for them. Not very start of the season because I beat them 4-0. But after that, they started to really pick up form. Yeah. Especially and he looked solid in that top 4 spot. They looked like it was for a majority of the season.
Conclusion. And then Lampard, he's done.
Okay.
Let's. Who's been the best player this season?
Kovacic.
Yeah, we can't agree with you. I think
Kovacic probably. I think Pulisic towards the end of the season after lockdown he was brilliant, but you can't because I think he only played 18, 19 games.
Yeah, he didn't play enough. I would say Kovacic as well. Yeah. Worst player of the season for him.
Marcus Alonso. Alonso or something like that. Oh, Kepa, 100% Kepa, 100% 90%.
Yeah.
Kepa.
Yeah, look, yeah, he's
Fucking
70
hell,
million, man.
God.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ. How are you going to offload him?
Sell him?
If you can, like, who's going to pay? What, you can't just sell him for 20 million after spending 70 million on him. Like,
but you just cut it now. Like, here's the thing, right? You can't. So do you hang on to him for a season? You won't want to be second choice.
No.
For me, surely they've spent enough money already. But for me, Chelsea are gonna sign a keeper. I'm guessing.
Well, they're like the All Black, aren't they? Like,
they are.
No, but this is the question, right? Havertz, what, 70 mil, 80 mil probably at least for him. Ziyech's at the costing what, 35, 40?
In around that, maybe less. Don't quote us on that.
Let's say 30 for him. That's 100 mil already at least. Then
50
mil. That's 106. Who else come in?
And then All Black. Then talking about All Black, and they're looking at
Declan Rice and Chilwell, and how is this going to work out with them? I know they have, but that's the thing with Chelsea. Like, and they kind of always do have this where they have players to sell. Like they always
do.
Like, Ross Barkley would still go for 20
because even
million.
players that aren't playing for Chelsea, they're out on loan. They always have a good like youth out on loan.
Yeah.
They always had it like.
I think Ross Barkley would still go for like 30 mil now. Like if someone went in.
Yeah, because the whole English thing.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they did something with like a swap deal with Rice with that. Like Barkley, I think he could suit West Ham, and then fucking with Rice going the other way. Like I could see something like that happen. But that's what they kind of need to do. They kind of need to work deals around that because I can't see them spending over 250 mil, 300 mil for. Like,
you see, the thing is that Lampard has been like he didn't get a window last year. He lost Hazard.
Yeah, it's true.
So he's sort of like he's doing 2 windows in one when you think about it.
He spent 70 million on Pulisic last season. Like, so it's.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like in the January, for me,
that counts as somewhere. Because we didn't have them even until fucking.
We lost Hazard and we didn't spend money, but they knew Hazard was leaving.
Yeah.
Or they maybe they didn't know he was leaving. Well,
he 70 mil on Pulisic, even though season 4, and then 40 mil on Kovacic, even though he was there with the season. But like, so that's still 100 mil. Like,
so you're up there. Like you know, you're spending a lot of money. It's a hard one because I think they need a keeper.
Yeah.
But 100%, at the same time,
I think that like that's even their defence. You can see the 54 goals this season, like, and I think their XG, so expected goals against, was like fucking 38 or something. So like he's just been shocking. Like he's been absolutely.
I think he's like conceded like what 40%.
I think he's the worst save percentage in the league.
It's shocking. It's really bad. Like
awful.
But yeah, so I think Kepa is a fucking inclusion. Like, he's worst sign of the season. We agree. Kovacic best sign of the season.
Best player, yeah. And then,
best player of the season. Sorry.
Yeah.
What do you think of the transfer business then? So far.
Well, what they've done so far has been unbelievable. That front four, especially if they get Havertz, like that's dangerous. Like that's proper dangerous. That front four: Pulisic, Havertz, Ziyech, and Werner. Like you can make the case about Ziyech that he might not adapt to the league.
Well, you can make the case for me.
Anybody you could have made that with Bruno Fernandes and
like Mkhitaryan was a foregone. He was top draw for Dortmund. Like what did he get? Like 27 assists or something. He got like nearly 40 goal contributions or something like that in a season. Yeah. And he comes to Man United and flops. Nuri Sahin was another player that done really well. Came to the Premier League, flopped. Shinji Kagawa, like they really, and it wasn't like they had a decent season. They performed really well. Like Nuri Sahin, I probably shouldn't be putting him in the same bracket.
Kagawa had his worst decent season. He got a hat trick in his first season, and then I remember like Mkhitaryan was in and out of the squad in the first season, so we kind of gave him a pass on that. And then the season after, he kicked off like a house on fire. He got like 5 assists in his first 3 games.
Yeah, he did,
remember 4-0 FC was fucking running wild at that stage. Thought we were back.
So it is hard to fucking like Werner top draw. He looked amazing, and Havertz looks really well. But it's hard to just say he's coming in.
The space is different in the Bundesliga, isn't it? Like
it is different.
Like, you get him,
especially when you're top.
Push up a lot more in the Bundesliga. Like you don't really get like teams as much sitting 10 men behind the wall as you do in the Premier League.
You should do in the Premier League. Especially when you're fucking top 4, top 6 side, like when you're playing the Norwiches and the Bournemouths today. Although Bournemouth like to come out. Well, they did like to come out and play football. Yeah, true. Newcastle teams like
Newcastle, like Burnley,
they'll sit in and
West Brom, I can see them
squish it and play a little bit of counter. Yeah, exactly. Brighton's teams like that.
Yeah.
And for me, that's where Werner is going to be tested. Like, of course, he can score goals.
Yeah.
It's Tammy Abraham scored 15 goals this season.
You can't really
for me, for Chelsea to improve,
he needs 20.
Werner needs 20 at least. Yeah. Obviously you're paying that and you expect that, but it's
sorry, you don't
know. Expect it, and then reality hits. Like, and I don't know. It's a lot of changes. I think they will sign another midfielder.
Probably.
Maybe Declan Rice.
There's a lot of players coming in. I heard that apparently Frank Lampard wants rid of him. So I don't know.
I think he's mad.
It's mad, yeah, it's mad. But he hasn't really played this season either. Like, I know he's come in and out, but like, I don't really know if he suits what Lampard's looking for. Like, because he's not. The problem with Kante is like he's not really a proper like DM. Like, he doesn't sit behind like in a 4-3-3 and like fucking like do that kind of role. He is a bit like he plays better in a 2. And I think Lampard maybe wants to go.
He's like do what you want, but he likes to tackle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like sit in the middle there, but.
Just he kind of runs around a lot.
Like you say, do what you want to say, Paul Pogba. He wants to get the ball and go forward. Kante wants to break
positionally. He's not just sit there and fucking stay in position. Like he moves up and down a lot. Like so I don't know. Like I think he wants like a proper like DM, like someone like a Declan Rice. I think that's what he's looking for.
And do you think Kante has to come out with him then?
Well, Kovacic has been the best player, as we said. True. And Royce and Kante is a midfield too. I don't know, like it's not.
Has Kante been injured?
He has had a lot of injury problems this season. Like, and I wonder if he thinks that's a permanent thing as well. But I don't know. He has, but that is the reason why he hasn't been playing as much. But even recently, he didn't play.
I always think this with every player. I think it's very hard to judge players. So even the top players like bar maybe Messi, Ronaldo. For me, you can't take them out. You can't take players out of a team and then put them back in. For 1 or 2 games and just expect them to be at the same level or to perform to the way you want them or expect them to. And I think it's very hard then to keep, like if someone, say Kovacic just had a good season and you put Kante in, like do you take Kovacic out because Kante has been a better player?
It's hard.
Like when Kovacic is on such good form, obviously you can't take him out for Kante.
I think he did kind of drop Kovacic towards the end of the season. Like he kind of played
Jorginho
and what's it, Billy Gilmore and all come in. And
no, I think Kovacic did play.
I know he played, but I don't think he played as much in recent, like in the last few weeks of the season as he did in, like towards, like before lockdown, like he was playing a lot. But I think after lockdown, I don't think he played as much. Like, but he probably still would be a player of the season. Like, but they have a lot of, and Barkley played a lot after lockdown.
Yeah, I think it was kind of. For me, I don't rate Barkley. No, personally, I think he's replaceable. I think he's easily replaceable. I think Ziyech already replaced him.
Yeah, and Mount as well.
The only thing that he has, and it seems to be an attribute, but it's not a fucking attribute.
Is that his English? Yeah.
So you might get 40 million for him because he's English. Because now, so like, what does he offer? Well, he's English, so already 40 million.
Yeah. He always has.
It's like a 20 million fee for being English.
He goes on little runs where he has a few good games, and then he just drops again.
It's too hot and cold. They're too inconsistent at it. But again, and Ziyech, another question mark will be like, he's coming from
the Eredivisie, the Dutch league.
You know, the Eredivisie. So like that's a completely different level. Like this for me is the best league in the world. Like it's the toughest league in the world. And I think it's not just the case, but we have seen the players when Bruno Fernandes came from Portuguese league and
just replicate. I thought it was like
absolutely ripped it up. Like even Man United fans would say, like, who are saying, "Oh, look, he's got 40 goal contributions."
We weren't thinking he was going to repeat.
He's not going to do it, and he's done really well. Like he's really well. I think he's up there with goal contributions like Messi and Bruyne for 2020.
I'd say so.
I think he is. But like the question marks have to be asked. Like they just have to be asked. And unless. And how is Lampard going to fare as well?
This is
with these big names.
This is really wrecks me head as a United fan, especially like that. Like they just lick Frank. The media licks Frank Lampard's arse. Like and Ollie gets not a bit of praise. Like he finished above him. What Frank Lampard? If he had won the FA Cup, fair enough. You could say he did brilliantly in
for me. Season. And look, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I'm not going to attack you because you're United, because I don't. But Lampard, he didn't have a chance to win though. He did lose Hazard.
He did a little bit, like he had.
No, he didn't. But
the players that he relied on as well, like.
But the players that he relied on.
Yeah, but the players that. But if you can say Hazard dropped out, Pogba was injured for the whole season for us. We didn't have Fernandes up until February. Like our midfield was Fred. At one point, our midfield three was Fred, Pereira, and Lingard. That was a mid. We played Andreas Pereira as a centre mid next to Fred. Like that was the thing that we had to do during the season.
Right. But you have to think is the thing that got you was to the third spot was Bruno Fernandes coming in, and was Pogba coming back from injury.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know about Pogba.
And Mason Greenwood just coming in and starting to bang them in.
We started the fucking for the
majority
of the season. We were
and Chelsea were well ahead of us by that point. It was only the turn of the year.
Yeah.
When you
before lockdown,
Chelsea started
coming in.
That's what I'm saying. The turn of the year, 2020, January, February. Just before into March, before the fucking thing, Chelsea were dropping points for no reason, really.
But even without Pogba, we had Fred McTominay and
Bruno
Fernandes. That was our midfield for a while. But we didn't have fucking.
But my whole point is that
fucking
they relied on Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount.
But
these are players at their Championship level. That's who he relied on this season. Like the likes of Kurt
Dan James played fucking 25 games, 30 games for the season.
I know, but you didn't rely on Dan James.
Yeah, we fucking did.
He was an option.
He was a right winger. He was the only right winger for like.
And he done well. He
did decently, but
look,
that's what I'm saying.
This is my point. I'm just speaking. I'm making an argument for Chelsea, right? So Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, they had to rely on. Pulisic, you can say top draw, like he should have been. Willian, another good player. Like they did have it, but they did rely on some players that came from the Championship level last season.
That's true. Like
into the Premier League, and they did get top form. And for that, you have to give Frank.
Like at the end of the season, like fucking like Giroud come back into the team. They had players like they have Willian players, Giroud, Willian.
Kante,
they have players,
Kovacic.
Like, it's not like they're fucking. Like, that midfield that they have is like a proper quality midfield.
Yeah, I agree.
In the season, like
I do agree. And that was just you have to give like credit where credit's due. They did like. I know they signed Pulisic before that. I know they did, but they did lose Hazard in the same window where they couldn't. Maybe they. For me, Pulisic was signed to replace Hazard.
Yeah, 100%.
It was always a thing.
Yeah.
He was
even
for
revenue.
Of course they did. The fact that he didn't sign a contract 6 months before tells you we need to replace him anyway.
I'd say the deal was agreed, and even after the because it was after the
and Kovacic in midfield. Like, if you look at the 4-3-3 and you have Pulisic, Willian, and Tammy Abraham with the option Giroud. On paper you say right, then you should be getting there. But the fact that they persisted with Mason Mount and players like that, and they had Kurt Zouma at the back, and there was also.
Don't talk about him. Mourinho thinks he's the best centre back in the world.
I don't think so. Based off his Everton form, anyway, I wouldn't say he was great.
But that was what he was saying. Start of season. Where do you look over another centre back?
Like Rudiger. There was also who's the other centre back?
Christensen.
No. There's Tomori. He came up from. You know what I mean? So, also the right back.
Like they've done well with you, but again,
names, man.
Reece James.
Reece James, they came from Wigan. You know what I mean? These aren't Premier League. Well, they went when they went down low.
You can say fucking they have. They trusted the youth, but Man United had a younger squad. We'll talk about Man United when we get to them. But Man United had the younger squad in the league this year, or the younger starting 11 average in the league this year. Like so you can't really fucking. It's hard.
Yeah, but it's not about you, man. My whole point is not who's younger than who. That's not my point. My point is that these players that Frank Lampard has persisted with played at Championship level last season. That was the experience they had.
Abraham and James, I suppose.
And Tomori.
Tomori didn't really play much.
Kurt Zouma was playing at Everton level, so basically Championship.
The Liverpool fan.
No, but you know what I mean. Like he relied on them to push them to.
No, I can't say he didn't do well. But
that's what I give him.
He's done decently, like, but I just the fact that like.
But the English media are always going to do it. Like they have a player that performs for 10 games and bang, he's valued at 60 million straight away, you know, and they do that, and it's only English. Ollie's done a great job.
I think he has.
We'll get to Man United very soon.
Yeah, we'll keep on Chelsea with fucking. Do we have
the worst signing of the season? Did we already say that?
We said their worst player was fucking
Kepa,
and their best player was Kovacic.
Outgoing, who'd you sell?
Well, Willian's gone already. Pedro was gone, I think, isn't he? They're out of contract actually.
He actually dislocated his arm last game.
Probably Marcus Alonso.
Emerson.
They probably needed a backup in there. They needed one backup at least in there.
Would you get rid of both of them? Try fund the left back and bring in someone on loan maybe? Or do they have left back?
Well, they have Aspilicueta that can play there, suppose, like if he wants to do the backup, like
have Reece James on the right.
And then maybe.
Because for me, surely they're going to sign a centre back. I'm guessing.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, they would think so. They have to. You can't just not sign the defender now after that season. Like, they can't just throw everything.
But should they? If they say they got Oblak, just for example, do you think maybe they could? We'll give the centre backs another go.
Yeah, maybe if you sign a proper, proper quality keeper.
Like I don't want to put everything down with the Kepa as the reason why everything fucked up. Like, but his save percentage is so bad.
Like they got like the West Ham game and all. Like the defence got ripped to shreds. Like it wasn't even just Kepa. Like the whole defence.
His inexperience.
That might be a problem with the centre backs. Like they don't really see that was that, and even Chelsea fans at the start of the season were kind of giving out about David Luiz leaving because even though he's not a great player, he just
has
the experience.
Has the head. Well,
not really.
Experience,
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But it's. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they get a world class keeper, they don't need to do much centre back wise. But I still probably would go for a centre back. Like I think it's more pressing than some other positions.
Do you think a left back's necessity over it, or do you think a centre back is more a necessity?
I'd actually probably go left back to be honest. Like I think they might need.
So you say they bring in just for example Chilwell and Oblak. Do you think they'd be alright for the season?
I still have question marks about them defensively, but it's an improvement 100%.
Of course, it's improvement. Yeah.
I'd still have question marks over them though.
What about Giroud? Think his time's up?
He's a great backup. Like I wouldn't keep him around if he wants to. Like if he.
So they have Werner up front, then Tammy. Surely there's not going to be enough playing time for the three of them.
That's true.
Someone has to go. Does Tammy go?
Can't imagine Tammy's going. I'd say Giroud probably maybe, but I don't know. I wonder because I think Giroud likes London, so I don't know unless he goes to fucking West Ham or something.
Arsenal.
He's not going to go back, is he? Would he go back?
I'm just throwing shit out there, you know. It's only
well after that Europa League
Leicester
last
maybe.
season.
What about Leicester?
Would he go? I genuinely think the only reason he went to fucking the same reason Willian. I think these players like London, so he like fucking staying out here. So I think if he's gone, he might go to France or something like I think maybe his kids are fucking. So he maybe go to PSG or something. I don't know if Cardi or Cavani's leaving.
Mason Mount, what do you think is his future? Do you think
he's okay? I don't think he's as good as people make. Like some people make him out to be. To be honest.
Oh, right a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Like
there's a lot of hype about him.
Yeah. He's decent.
But he's like the typical English player now.
Exactly, yeah.
Like every English player that
has
a half decent season.
Like,
like Barkley was meant to be the next big thing for me.
Next Wayne Rooney. That was Ross Barkley. Like that was
hasn't
the
done anything like that. Like
none.
Hasn't done anything like that. So do you think Ziyech is into replacement, or do you think Ziyech's into
I think Havertz is going to be into replacement. I think.
I always would have thought Havertz would be right.
Oh really? I think Ziyech played on the right and Havertz played centre for teams like that line.
I just don't know why I always thought that.
Maybe, but I think Ziyech.
So like the sort of question is like if they sell Kante, they sell Giroud, they sell one of the centre backs, which I'm guessing they sell Kepa and they sell a left back. Does them that for me? Even not Kante, maybe Kante won't go. I know there's talk Jorginho. I don't know if he's going to go or not. Jorginho leaves. Like that was for me. Surely with someone not going to even get into value on players. Surely 150 million comes out of that.
You think so? Wouldn't you? Like, so then they
just based off.
But that's you
know, and
like it's very hard. Like has any club ever gotten in that like sold that many players? Like
that's the thing. Like it's hard to.
It's not football manager, it's not fucking.
You go sign 6 players, like they do all, and I know, like you have to integrate, like they have to come into the team, they have to get your system, and it's hard for them just to come in. Lampard's system obviously might be different to, say, Diego Simeone's system. Like you have to come in and play, a certain way that suits the rest of the team. And
I have like the one thing
bringing in 6 or 7 players into a new team, starting 11 wise, for me, it is hard. As good as they are, like. They have to get into those games, and they do have to
get a proper pre-season maybe, but no one's going to get
start about 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and they still have to finish up Europa League campaigns. And in fairness, I think Chelsea aren't in Europe anymore now. They've Bayern Munich. They should be pretty much done. And the likes of Arsenal, like they could probably nearly get their pre-season going just as the Europa League and the Champions League is ending. So they sort of have a bit of an advantage in some ways. Same with Liverpool. And Man City are still in. Sorry.
Yeah, that is the thing. Like, we're just talking about fucking United and shit, like having an extra.
I won't even get into that, but
it's shite, but
it'd be very shit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like just start the season late, or
just do that. Like,
but we also go back to Liverpool again. Not making
the
excuses.
Fucking Club World Cup and all that shit,
like we had to play in the same day in 2 different continents. Like, but Man United have only 4 weeks to prepare for the season, so
it is a bit different when you start the season, like, because
I get it, but like at the same time. Like
when you're
not in the only season, I get like Chelsea are there and maybe like
Wolves are there as well. They're the 2 teams that
and Wolves, their squad is stretched. Like they don't have the sort of like Man United. The last game played like 2 of their normal starting 11. Like Maguire, probably that was it against last game. They were 5-0 up and all, but I think even when you just won 5-0, I think Mason Greenwood and maybe Maguire. Did he come on?
I think Maguire might start that game as well.
Like 2 players. So like
for
me,
I don't know why the fuck Maguire started last month.
I know them players will start to come in. The 40 years progress into the Europa League. Like obviously the bigger players, the Pogbas and the Brunos, will all come in then. The Rashford, Martials, and they'll start to play a bit more then. But like it's like 6 matches or something. It's not. I think you only play 1 leg as well. Do you know?
So
there's 4 matches. You have to play 4 matches, and you need an extra 3
weeks.
It's
about getting pre-season. Like I think.
You don't get as long pre-season, but sure Liverpool had to do it without Salah and Mane coming back late. Like, players, that's just how it is. Like, and none of the ages aren't going to go out and sign players because they will.
Obviously.
But yeah, what would you rate Chelsea season?
B-. I'm
gonna say C.
See, I'm fucking rating them higher. That's tough. B-. I think.
No, do you know what? Actually, I will go B because at the start of the season, top 4 was their aim. They got top 4.
Yeah.
I'll say B. I'll say B as well.
Like, it wasn't exceptional, but they did well. Like,
they got there. Like they should have had it well wrapped up. Like, but they could have got 3rd place and it'd be all different. Like there was goal difference in it, So, a B is fair reflection.
Yeah.
I do think Oblak, or maybe not just Oblak. I think the centre back needs to come in. I think a midfielder will be the least worry. Because I do think they have enough options in midfield. Like, say Jorginho does go, I still think they have covered it. Kovacic, they've Kante, they've Ruben Loftus-Cheek who looks decent. Barkley can drop back. But if they did sell Jorginho and Barkley, for me, they're going to go out trying to midfield. Maybe Declan Rice.
It looks like Declan, because he was a part of the youth side, but B-, I think, for Chelsea.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one. I'll go B2. Moving on.
Spurs.
Right,
here's a tasty one. I cannot wait for this documentary, man. I'm dying for it. It's just seeing Mourinho in the fucking dressing room and what he's going to be up to. It's mad.
So let's talk about Mourinho.
Mourinho straight away. Well, what Spurs fans will say is that, what Spurs fans who like Mourinho, because a lot of them really don't. A lot of them like would love to have Posh back, like. But the ones that actually like Mourinho and try to defend him, and Man United fans even, because they fucking some of them still.
And Chelsea fans will be in there too, even though they hate Spurs.
I think Chelsea fans hate Mourinho now.
Yeah.
Washed
hands.
Yes,
Spurs.
He went to United, it was like, oh, whatever, we sacked him. But then if you go to Spurs, like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
But,
that makes sense. Yeah.
But I think what them defenders would say was when he took over, Spurs were 14th. Yes, they were. But when they took over, Spurs were 3 points off 6th. Like, it's not like they took over when you were 14th and fucking, like, it's not like he got them into the top 6, so he made up 3 points for it. Like, fucking, like.
But then you have the question: Harry Kane was out.
Was he out for when he had?
I think Son out missing a bit.
I think he had to go and like fucking.
He had to do something in Asia, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Was that not during like a break or something?
I don't know. If it was during the COVID. It might have been during the COVID. I thought it was just before that, but.
Kane has been out a lot. Fucking, well, I think he was out at the start of the season.
Defensively, like they lost Lloris, dislocated shoulder for a lot of the season.
Because he's actually done decently, to be fair.
Defensively, they haven't been at it, but.
No, Alderweireld's been shite.
Vertonghen hasn't been great either. Sanchez looks on cold.
Yeah.
To me, he's not. Like, I think it was it last season he looked really good.
But that's the thing about when you talk about Jan Vertonghen, like he's a player on his last legs, can barely walk, and Mourinho puts him on fucking left back. Like, what?
Yeah,
what
very, very smart in fairness. Very smart.
Like, what are you doing?
Like, we know Mourinho likes to be defensive, but for
Jesus
Christ. Like, that's what Spurs are really, I'd say known for. Like, that was the fullbacks. They had Walkers and
Rose.
Trippier, yeah. Davies even. Like, they were good at giving that width and getting the ball into Kane.
Like, I think that we thought for a while. I thought at the end of last season as well, like that like rebuild is just done. Like, they needed to refresh again. Like that squad was done. Like, I thought that at the end. But I thought he did kind of in the summer. He brought in Dembele, like it was like they were looking
at the ball and all. Like,
yeah.
They apparently they had not accepted or something.
Fernandes accepted. We were both.
Was it Fernandes? I know.
Both of them, like no, it was both.
Both of them, Deal's son.
Yeah.
Deal's agreed, wasn't it? And then I don't know what happened. Fell off a cliff.
Yeah, at the start of the summer, it was like I remember fucking around like June, July last summer. It was like Man United and Spurs and battle over Fernandes. But then the British media came out and said that we weren't in for Fernandes ever. But then there's conflicting reports about whether we're in for him or not.
It's British media, I don't know.
Some of them are reliable. Like some of them get their but these ones get their fucking thing directly from United. Like they get their info directly from United. But it might just be briefs like that fucking. Yeah. They're coming out and saying this. It's the same thing that's happening with Sancho now. Like where they're saying fucking we might pull out. Don't fucking hope. But yeah. So fucking yeah. So they were in for Fernandes. If you had to go him, like that's a Eriksen replacement immediately or Dybala.
Yeah, Dybala, who. My God, he's a beast. Obviously, Bruno's been a beast, but we've talked about him 3 times already, so I'm not even going to say it about him again until we get the Man United. He's been top class. He's changed.
But fucking Dybala is like fucking. But if you got someone like that,
just a cube of a sign for Spurs.
And it was only what was it? Well, we were meant to be getting.
I think it was 60 million or 60 million.
We were meant to be getting fucking swapped for like Lukaku, man. I was on my nails for that.
But like Spurs just. I don't know.
They're missing. What are they missing? Like they have.
Like when Mourinho was at Man United and he was fan. I think Mourinho had a chat about Mourinho and we were saying like, oh, maybe it doesn't suit him and the squad doesn't suit him.
And we were saying at the time.
We were thinking who in the league suits him, like, because you're talking about old style. Who Spurs? That's what we both said at the same time. Spurs was the team.
Proper number 9, fucking functional midfielders, good
wingers that like to get forward.
Proper wingers.
Get the ball into Harry Kane, and they had what Mourinho had at the likes of.
Chelsea and Real Madrid and stuff like that.
Like when they were at their.
And it's not like maybe not quality wise, but in terms of the style.
Yes, and how they play, and it's not like Spurs are like outside. Like Spurs should be up there again, challenging for top 4.
Yeah,
they signed Dominic a good signing, and like Lucas Moura was okay. Again, he was hot and cold this season, and didn't see much of him. Kane was injured, still got 25 goals, 18 in the league, I think, or 17 in the league. Son Son is probably my favourite Spurs player.
Well, he to be fair, has been hot and cold this season. But that's the thing, it's very inconsistent. But that's the thing, when players are that's the thing, when players are that inconsistent, but you know how good they are. Surely the coaching needs to improve on that.
Yeah, I agree.
But they need to get their mentality right, like so that they can.
And we all know what Mourinho hasn't got the man management. He hasn't got it. Like, he fucks up. For me, everywhere he goes, he fucks up. Like he nearly lost Paul Pogba at Man United. He fucked up Luke Shaw completely.
Like he does
like to deflect blame. He always does. He always has. But now it's just that's being wound out football now. You can't really do that anymore.
And he's done it on Bella. He's fucking talking about having personal training sessions about him in a fucking park and shit. Like saying he's bringing them to the park and fucking.
Like when a new player comes into your club and he's not kicked to the heights. Like, you need to like get your arm around him and tell him, look, you need to perform a little bit better. You don't come out and tell the fucking the Daily fucking Express that he's doing this and he said this to me and he's playing like this or he told me to fuck off or like it doesn't help your club. Like,
and it's because it's every time now with Mourinho he's so defensive now that like it's about him. He did it in that fucking Sevilla game a few years ago with United, like where he just came out and put the club like fuck the club was shit, this is the fucking club, I'm the great manager, I did this, I did that. It's not fucking about you. You're meant to be managing the club.
Yeah, it's your job.
You are there to make sure we do well. Like, what are you talking about?
And make us better. Like, not you don't say we're shite. Like, we got worse since they came here. Yeah, but they are not doing their job. Yeah. For me, Spurs have regressed a little bit. You know, like, look, from 14th to 6th when he came in, as you said, 3 points. But Spurs, for me, need to offer more. They didn't chance for the top 4 like they should have. They finished 6th in the end. Again, they finished 6th in the end. I think it was goal difference. Ahead of Wolves. Was
goal difference ahead of Wolves.
They finished 3 points out of Arsenal and we literally just slated Arsenal from the first 20 minutes of the video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
These actually are probably like they would give these a worse season because they didn't win.
I would. And
definitely. They won a Champions League final last year, man. Like they,
as well. Yeah.
Why did they do a Champions League final? How the fuck is that? You can't just
again like losing the final. Like everyone, there's a lot of talk. And I don't want to get to Liverpool, but. We will get them later. Like, but there's a lot of talk of the character of Liverpool and bouncing back from just missing out. Like from the year before losing the final in Real Madrid to go on the next season and win the Champions League takes character. To lose the title by 1 point and then go on and stink the league, that's character. And Mourinho should be instilling these boys with character. Like they have got some really good players. I think Mourinho, if he keeps going the way he does, as we've seen with Paul Pogba, Spurs could lose the Hurricanes, the Suns. 100%. I don't know, Dele Alli, another player, probably a bit injury prone, hasn't done.
I think he was injured a lot of the season, but when Mourinho first came in, I remember he was starting to
losing Eriksen. I don't know what happened in there. Don't know, was that to do with Mourinho?
I think Eriksen was on the way out
anyway, wasn't it? There was a bit of a.
I don't know if that was like a myth or something.
I don't know. That was reported anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Eriksen was out the door anyway. Like I think he was.
He had 1 foot out anyway, didn't he?
Yeah. I think like.
But did they replace him? I don't think they did replace him.
No, they need to. Well, but see, this is the thing. Like what do you get to replace him? Like you need a creative player, but who? Like
Coutinho maybe.
Maybe a Coutinho.
Dybala, as they were looking
would do it, but then like is Dele Alli just not a starting player for them anymore? Then like.
Well, he played. Eriksen was sort of on the wing.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He sort of came in, but that's what I'm saying. It all came from the wing back. So when you go and put Vertonghen out at left back, you're basically saying, right guys, you 4 attack, you 4 defend, and you 2 try win the ball back in. And that doesn't work. Like you need to defend as a unit and attack as a unit. Yeah. And you'll see more and more of that for me. As the thing, I think Arteta's trying to get that into Arsenal. Klopp has got it into Liverpool. Pep gets it into Man City. Ollie's trying to get it into Man United. Like the top teams, that's what they do now. You can't. It's not just
fragmented.
Defenders defend.
And that is what Mourinho is about.
You need to attack from the front. And
his tactics are outdated as well. Where he doesn't.
You can't play for one anymore.
Like this is literally like his thing is that he says, and this is in his book or whatever that he said that the players are more fucking. He prefers to be out of possession than in possession. Like he doesn't like having the ball. Like,
well, he hates when the ball. Some teams do like that as well. I think Klopp liked that for a while as well.
But he says it's more dangerous when you're in fucking on the ball when you're not. Like it's better to be out of possession.
It's on the mind.
Yeah, it's
fucking. Teams are waiting for you to make a mistake. I think I agree with that. I think I heard that as well.
Yeah, it's just like it doesn't really work anymore. Like but with Klopp, like what kind of changed it? Like he did kind of change to a more fucking.
He does, yeah. He has since he started to win things. Yeah, he has, and he's sort of. He's not. In fairness,
aggressive, but it's more.
Klopp made use of what he had.
Yeah.
You know, like we didn't have Van Dijk, we didn't have Alisson, so we couldn't defend, so we fucking attacked, and we won 4-3 or fucking 5-2 or.
And that was the outscored. And that was the thing with Mourinho, you know, like the defense was shite. But what? Yeah. Did they compensate for that? He fucking took everyone on the ball. But with that, when you want with that. you don't want the ball in our final third, but when you sit behind the ball, that's what happens. Like, you get to the final, but when you press, the fucking team is pushed back, so they can't really get to your final third. Like, it's much easier to do it that way.
Yes, exactly. Rather than invite them on and then say, "Oh, well, we lost because he fucked up," but you knew he was going to fuck up, so wouldn't you just like play your strengths? You're a good going forward. You need to get the ball forward. And I know, look, I'm not a manager. And it's easy to just say, "Oh, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that?" Like, obviously, it takes a lot of things on the training ground and a lot of tweaking. But you can't see it. When you watch them, you can see it. And what Poch had them playing, like, and a lot of things was he didn't win on it, and Mourinho will get us that trophy. And look,
like,
it's been one season. Maybe he will get them a trophy. I don't doubt it. I think his tactics are more for cup football.
Yeah.
I
don't know anymore, even
now. Yeah, you see, I do agree that they are becoming outdated, but I do think like he's a one match sort of like he needs to go out and get a result in one match. He's like
I remember
he's the man to go to. You know what I mean?
I was still worried, like, we could see they were our first match after lockdown with Spurs, and I was going into it like he has a chalkboard in his room. He
knows how many steps that fucker's gonna take it all.
He has this match planned out. We still fucking managed to get a point out, but I just knew he was gonna have fucking something up his sleeve for the match, like. But
like, he's that manager, like, you know. So that's, for me, he might get them a cup, but for me he's regressed worse. They've got worse.
Especially after style of football, like at the start of the season, they were
so bad to watch. Like, they were up there with Liverpool's and Man City's as the team to watch. They were always on they even played counter attack, but play with flair. Like, get on the ball. Don't say, "Oh no, here, West Brom or fucking Norwich or Bournemouth, you have the ball. We'll try to win it back in Crystal Palace." Like, you need to dominate these teams. If you can't break them down, but you dominate the whole match, right, fair enough, you need to look somewhere else. You need that technical player that can cut open the defence, maybe. And you need to get the ball up to Harry Kane a bit more. But it just seems like not that he doesn't know what he's doing, but he can't even get the results now that he could have got years ago.
He got his worst fucking running results, didn't he, ever in his career, I think, I suppose, this season. Like, I don't know if it was just after lockdown or whatever it was, but like...
I think after lockdown they were decent. Like,
I think it might have been just
games,
before lockdown, going into
5.
just after lockdown, I think. But whenever fucking, I just know he was on like his worst run of form as a sports manager. I remember it was going into the Bournemouth game. Did he lose the Bournemouth game, or did he win it, or did he draw?
I don't actually know.
I can't remember seeing him play Bournemouth, and they were talking about it anyway. That he's on his worst run of results ever. But and then after that, I think he went on a little run and got top 6. But I don't know. I don't think Spurs are going anywhere in Mourinho as manager, to be honest. Like, I don't think they're. Maybe they win a cup, but I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to be.
Like, that's the question. Like, maybe they win a cup, right? But when Poch was sacked, was that the aim? Well, we're going to go by Mourinho because we want to win the Carabao Cup, or the EFL Cup, or the Carabao Cup, or the FA Cup.
He wanted to do much more than that. And that's what he said. He said Mourinho now, isn't he, that he fucking. Like, if he gets the Europa League, he's going to win it next season. Like, that was, he said he's going to win the Europa League next season. But fucking...
He has to win it, one.
Yeah, he should. Like, well...
Should depend on... look, yeah, of course. It does depend on... of course it does. But, like, he has the squad. He was at the Champions League final. He has the squad. I mean, now, you see... Who do they sign? Like, for me, they need a centre-back.
Well, they need to refresh the defence. They need a left-back. Did they need a right back? They probably need. Definitely need a right back. Fucking our ears done. They need a left back, a right back, and probably it might even be 2 centre back. Maybe if that.
I'd say a centre back, and because I do think like Lloris comes back, Gazaniga's done okay. I think Davinson Sanchez, if like, I think he'd be good with a better right back and a better centre back beside him and a left back. You know, I think then it becomes a better unit at the back then. I think Klein Vertonghen out left. It's just a mad decision. Like, it really is a mad decision. Like. Even go 3 at the back and play with wing backs and get like Lucas Moura on left wing, and like, if you want, you know what I mean. Just Vertonghen for me doesn't offer anything at left back.
And what was that fucker Tanganga he brought in? Like, and he looked decent. Like,
the centre back.
I think he played left back, didn't he? Like,
maybe.
I think he is a centre back, but he played left back in the game. Like, Mourinho just
Tanganga,
seems like he's
18 or 19-year-old.
Yeah,
I think he played against Liverpool.
Did he?
I think that was one of his first appearances.
Maybe.
But yeah, I agree with that. Like,
They need to refresh the defense.
Midfield.
I think they still haven't replaced Moussa Dembele. Like, that's what Dembele, because what Moussa Dembele usually was take the ball and just fucking run through midfield. Like,
and that's
take
what
it through midfield. And that's what Dembele is meant to do. Like, his passing is good, but he's.
But you're not going to get the best out of a player by slating him, and it's that simple. Like,
even still, like, he's fucking. And Dembele is completing like fucking 3 or 4 dribbles a game, like, which is mental from a centre mid. Like, but that's what you. But it's. I don't know, it's a different type of fucking thing. Like, he's not just taking it and holding off people and running through. Like, but I think they do need to replace him. And maybe I think Dyer actually is their centre back now, isn't he? I think Mourinho has him as centre back.
Wow. He's just fell off a cliff. He looked really good.
He was really good like a few years ago, boys. Yeah, he's just hasn't.
Again, all the hype of the English.
And that was the thing. Fucking Mourinho apparently loved him when he was at fucking United, like that. He really wanted him to sign him when he was at United. Like
now he has him and he plays him out of position.
Yeah, and he doesn't want that.
It's a typical Mourinho thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like when you're trying to have a bit of crack on Football Manager and you try to play a right wing and right back or something.
Yeah. It's like he does it just to prove points. Like he does it just to prove points.
Look what I'm at to do with Eric Dyer.
Yeah.
Look what I'm at to do with Jan Vertonghen.
And this is like Mourinho.
Now, in fairness, look, Jan Vertonghen can play left back because I think he's played left back for Belgium and stuff. Yeah. And I'm not trying to make it a point out of it because it's not like he's played him at left back and he's never played at left back before. But like he's at his oldest that he's ever been, obviously, because you get older, good maths and everything. But it's like he's losing pace and he goes, right, instead of sitting you in here where you have to do the least amount of running, we'll sit you back here, get up and down that left wing for me, buddy. Are you having a laugh?
That makes fucking sense.
That's the like it's. I just don't get it. Like I don't get the thought process behind it. It's a mess, basically.
Yeah.
Best player of the season.
Is it still Kane? Probably is still Kane.
I agree.
18 goals, like it probably is still Harry Kane.
Worst.
I might have actually been with Tongan, like I'm not sure. Maybe on the melee, but I don't know. When he's played, he's been okay for me. I don't know. It's hard because when he costs 70 million, he's probably doing.
Oh,
yeah,
I'd say on melee, yeah, because the money he cost him.
Yeah.
But like, see, as you said, it's hard. I don't like giving it to people that don't really play, and it's hard when your manager's on your back to perform, and you're getting pulled in and out of the team, and when you're put in for one match, you have to perform to a certain level. It is hard. You need to get match sharpness, and
that's what he just didn't. Like, he hasn't really looked fit all season, and he does need to get that into him. Like
he needs to play 6 or 7 matches in a row in the league where
he hasn't got used to the pace at all.
No, of course not. And you won't play in 6 or 7 matches. Not even if you play 6 or 7 matches all together, you can start to pick up the pace of the league. When you're playing one match here, one match there, 2 matches here, 2 matches there.
Like in France, you can just pick up the ball and fucking like.
You're free to go.
Farmers League. In England, like it's not like you get pressed fucking immediately. You get fucking like there's no space. There's no.
Of course.
And you can't fucking and the games just move a lot quicker. Like so, it's. I don't know.
You need to have it up here and be technical about it. Like as we said, Ozil, and you need to be a workhorse. And you need to get about. You can't just walk through games.
Yeah.
And on Dombele, you just need to step up the pace. And this is what we were saying. This is why the question marks were there over Bruno Fernandes. This is why the question marks were there over Ziyech and Bruyne. Because it is a different league. You have to adjust. Some players take to it like fucking ducks to water, and some players just
don't.
Like your house is on fire. They can't do it like it. And that's the way football is. That's why it's such a great game. Yeah. You don't know what you're gonna get.
That's the thing. It's so unpredictable. Like
that's why we love it. Like
right now, scores.
I would say D. See, I don't even know if I could pass. I could only pass them based on they got Europa.
Yeah, you probably just D minus.
Just
about everyone a minus.
D minus.
Just because they passed. Just because they got Europa. If they hadn't got Europa, it would have been an E.
Oh, probably an F.
Yeah.
Depending on where, like they finished 8th.
It's been awful. It's been again. It's
like,
again. It's like as I said.
They didn't make any runs.
Absolute shit show. And I don't think they have any money to be honest either. Like,
well, they did. Like they were looking at getting Bruno or the ball like for 78 million.
So fucking Daffer and Dombele, didn't they? So.
No, I think were they not getting in Dombele as well?
Maybe I don't know.
Maybe they might have 6 or 7 million.
There was talk about because of lockdown, like they're fucked.
There's a lot of clubs will be in trouble because of that, and they haven't got any money.
I think they sell. I think they need to shift the player. I think actually they probably should shift like Alderweireld. Tongan's gone.
You see, do you get much money for them? Like we're only saying like it's hard to get
Lacazette
and stuff.
His though, that's
but they don't have much wages at Spurs. They have like this wage system.
Don't they? I thought to be fair,
like $100 a week maybe.
Yeah, I did actually hear them about him only being on like $75 a week Alderweireld, but yeah.
Because we're minted, yes.
Oh man, imagine making $75 a year. Fucking yeah. Who could he sell?
Do they sell in Dombele?
I think he might be done.
I think Mourinho will, but is it a wise decision?
I don't think so. I
think they're going to lose money now over him. I think
he's kind of like a Pogba, Martial, that kind of fucking player that Mourinho just doesn't like and that he just wants rid of, like, and that like and a fucking
big ego. You think?
Yeah, I don't know. Not even that they have a big ego. Just that he's like. I think. There's just certain players that it's like technical ability. Like sometimes it's not enough. Like he needs fucking more from me. Like and it's I don't know. It feels like a player that Mourinho just doesn't like, and I'm wondering like, could he cash in on him? What could he get from him? Like are they gonna take like 30 million loss now? Because like 40 million I'd say him going for like.
See, you could say worst player. You could possibly put Aurier up there.
Oh yeah, no, okay, Aurier is the worst player they had this season. Yeah.
You know, like and Dombele, you could say, and I was just thinking there, like he hasn't played a lot.
Yeah.
Reason why we didn't give it to Ozil, he didn't play.
Yeah,
so it's hard to say.
Aurier,
you know, I think Aurier playing consistently enough has been absolutely shocking, and for me, has to go.
Yeah.
They do need fullbacks, so he has to go.
Yeah.
The whole Vertonghen and Alderweireld thing, I don't think they can make any more as stars.
Is he?
I think maybe Alderweireld could stay unless they get a decent offer. I think I would probably keep him around.
Maybe
just based on
experience or whatever on the fucking back.
Like he can still come in, he can still do a bit of a job. Like when he's probably not playing every week and being relied upon.
Yeah.
I think if they get a centre back in, it would shore up. Obviously they need full backs, but for me, Spurs, that has to be the priority. Maybe a midfielder. As you said, they do need to.
Lo Celso's been fucking decent for him as well.
He actually, he's been pretty good.
Bruyne for fucking to replace like Ericsson type thing. Like,
yeah,
I think
he has actually
was
been
good.
Yeah. He started off very.
He probably is there for
very patchy.
Maybe him or Kane, and he probably got
Kane because he got 24 goals like in a season where I think he was injured twice as well. Yeah, I think it's hard not to give it to him.
Yeah.
Well, it's Celso most consistent performer. Like he has. In fairness, they started off very bad for me. Lo Celso didn't kick it, but then he started to pick it up. Oh, I would definitely say Harry Kane for signing this season. But like someone, could you move on to someone that they need to keep?
Oh, I don't know.
Like the question I suppose then becomes: are they stuck for money?
Maybe Lucas will be on the way up.
If they're stuck for money, I think one of the attackers
need to bring player in.
If they want to freshen it up, I think they do need an attacker. But I think if they're going to go out and they don't sell and they don't have much money, I think they need to just focus defensively.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they have the money. If they have the money there to go out and say, "Oh, we're going to buy an attacker,"
and
then Mourinho's going to focus defensively.
Have a fucking excuse, isn't he? Like either way, he's going to be like fucking.
We don't have the money.
We don't have an attacker. We don't have a defender. We don't have a fucking this. We don't have that. Either way, he's just going to fucking talk about it. But like if they could sign centre backs, they could sign fucking. And you have Harry Kane in front and fucking all these players.
Like, did they miss the trick with Naka maybe?
That could have been a very good signing for them, I'd say.
40 mil.
I don't know if Mourinho would have liked him because he's small. Like he's not. He's only like 5'11", so I don't know if he would have liked him.
So who was centre back? Maybe do they look in? Maybe Diego
Carlos
and stuff off Sevilla.
I can see them looking at Lewis Dunk. Mourinho. Lewis Dunk is a Mourinho centre back.
Or Shane Duffy, buddy.
Something like that.
Shane Duffy. And Lewis Dunk, but apparently like he's had really good seasons.
Oh, he has brilliant. Like, but fucking. But apparently Bruyne wanted like 80 million from or something.
Really, 80 million? I thought they could have got a snippet of what they got. Okay, maybe 20.
Oh,
what about Ben White off Leeds? Had a decent season. Could it be someone?
He's off. He's not alone. Bruyne, maybe Joe Roden off fucking Swansea.
Did you see? Do you think, or should they just go balls to the wall and go for someone big?
Like Koulibaly, I don't think they'll get him.
I'm thinking maybe someone like Diego Carlos off Sevilla. Looks a decent player.
Fucking odd. Who was that? Pau Torres. We're meant to be looking at him as well.
Yeah, he does look decent. And to be honest, the first time when I seen them sign Torres, City, I thought that's when they signed, because they were thinking they needed centre back, and I seen them link with Torres, and I was thinking 28 million. Well, it was Ferran Torres. But yeah, he actually looks a decent player as well. Because I don't know, Mourinho might just stick home ground.
He might just fucking stick with Alderweireld because he's experienced and think whatever. But I don't know, it's fucking hard. See, that's the thing. Like, it's hard like to look at that sports squad. Like they have players like the fullbacks. Because it's hard to base it just off of a half season. Like. And the two fullbacks are the main positions I think they need to sort of.
Yeah,
they're the two fucking. Because they're just Ben Davies is okay, but he's not.
Is there anyone have to be linked to anyone?
I haven't even heard of that. Maybe fucking Max Aaron's a right back.
Oh yeah.
And they link with that fucker in midfield. What's his name? Apparently you're looking at him. Mourinho looks at him. He seems like a fucking proper Mourinho signing. Højbjerg off Southampton.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
he would be. I don't think he was starting much at the end.
Isn't it? Maybe that might be wide.
Might have been injured. And I could be completely wrong, and he's played every minute, but
I think apparently he's available cheap enough, like, and he seems like a Mourinho fucking midfielder, like he's very fucking defensively sound. But D- for Spurs.
Yeah,
give them just about a pass. They got fucking what are we at now? Fucking 49.7%, maybe, or 50.1% or something. Like they just passed, just about got there.
Leicester, we'll have a look at Leicester. We'll have a little quick word on Leicester.
Yeah. Because they're not. But we were like we said top 6.
We were just going to go with the usual, the Arsenal scores and top 4 then. But Leicester were up there and they were thereabouts for most of the season, and for me they would be one of the teams I would tip to battle again next season.
I'd see at the start of the season I had them top 4 because of the squad they have, like, and I think that and they started off the season brilliant. Like they were fucking, like they were second at like January, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, they were up there.
They were like maybe December, but I know they were second. I think it was when we beat
them. I think it was when we beat them. They started to fall off. I think that was in January or December.
But I remember them being second, like above City, like for a while, and then after fucking that, they just capitulated completely. Like,
I think we beat them. Was it 4-1? I could be completely wrong. I think it was 4-1. And after that, they sort of just
went to shit.
flew down the table. Like, like they were a good bit ahead of City, I think.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 points. Like, but yeah, like they were that. But then after that,
top 4 was wrapped up.
There wasn't even a question. Like they were 14 points clear, was it something like at one point? Mad. But
Brendan Rodgers.
It's weird. I don't know how to rate him. Like I don't know. And the problem is,
you see, you have. I suppose the only way
if you had finished 5th at the start of the season, you probably would have taken it.
That's it. But like we have to look at it based on the season. Yeah. Like the goal for me for start of the season would be maybe Europa.
I thought maybe
like for Rodgers, I would say look, let's try push for Europa.
When I was looking at that squad at the start of the season, like Ndidi, Maddison, Tielemans, that midfield, like that was better Man United's field for the entire season. Like fucking up until maybe towards the end of it. But fucking then that's the thing. Maddison and Ndidi got injured at different points, like, so it's hard to judge that.
And defensively,
Solanke did well. Johnny Evans did well. Fucking Ben Chilwell did well. Pereira is like probably the best right back in the league. Like other than Trent, maybe with Wan-Bissaka. Like he's top 3 with them. Like
100%. I'll put him up there. But I think that he get injured as well. Like here's the thing. Towards the end of the season, for me, they were missing a lot of players.
Yeah, they were.
Ben Chilwell was out. Ricardo Pereira was out. They also was it Solanke who was out? I think he
got sent off against Bournemouth. Remember when he went 2-0 up or 1-0 up?
And for me, they were the key matches. Like
cruising, like
they were the key. If they had picked up the win, I think they have a full team.
Yeah.
Like
depends on how, because it would have changed the mentality of us going into different games if they had a fucking.
Of course, it's hard to say, but just based off of Leicester, like I think had they had the full strength team, I think they may have got. Look, defensively, when you lose 3, you're starting 4.
It's hard,
you know, it is hard to just say, we'll keep going. Like,
they brought them 2 youngsters, didn't need a right back. I can't remember even their names. I remember they brought in 2 fullbacks that were.
I think they had Christian Fuchs playing and someone else. There was.
And then I think even Fuchs went out at one point and they brought in someone else. I can't remember who it was. I know they brought in a right back. I can't remember their names. But fucking, I know they brought in 2 players.
Mark Albright, did he not? He played right mid, did he?
I think he played right mid, towards the end of the season. And that's the one position I think the wings. Like Harvey Barnes and fucking even he's not okay. He's not like a world class fucking. He's not.
And Mark Albright is not.
They haven't replaced Mahrez at all. Like if they had Mahrez this season,
they got Yamane Ghazal.
Yeah.
They spent like 30 million on him and sent him out on loan. I think he's at Roma. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
I think that's Sassuolo even something like that. But like Yuri Tillman's a great sign. Johnny Evans obviously was a great sign.
About 30 million.
Ricardo Pereira, another great sign. Like they make really good signings. Like but I don't know. Like I would give them. Me personally, I'd give them maybe. I'd say C.
Yeah.
For the season. Like you could push a B.
Maybe
you could push a B because the reason that I'm saying them is because for me top 4 was wrapped up and it should have been wrapped up. Injuries come and of course it fucking hurts. Like injuries are gonna hurt you, especially when it's fucking 3 of you starting 4 centre backs. Like it is hard.
Like we go B.
I'll go B. I think I'll go B. Signings. As we already alluded
wingers,
to,
like
wingers.
That's what you need to properly strengthen.
Do you think there's anyone out there for them?
Like if Maddison goes, they're probably gonna need some.
I think I think they need to hang on to who they have. Like for me, I think they need a striker. Vardy's done all right, but is he not 32 now? 33.
Yeah. Eventually, Jamie Vardy's gonna come back and he's not gonna be the same player. So they need to.
I think it could be this season or next season. I think it's soon.
Eventually, it's gonna happen. So they need to fucking. I know he's Premier League
goal striker. Like you know, but if we have to look going forward now next season, like. Do you see them challenging for top 4 next season? Keeping hold of all the players?
No, because of the way, if they make the right signings, but just because of the way Chelsea and United are going on in the transfer market, I kind of think the top 4 is wrapped up for next season. Like who's fucking getting in there? Like, I think it's City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and United. Like I think that's top 4 to be honest.
I don't know, man. There's always a surprise.
That's the thing.
There is always a surprise.
There is always. The Spurs could come back up. Fucking Leicester could do it. Wolves could fucking finish in there. Like you
Wolves could. Mourinho could just stroke out a masterclass after then slagging them off for the last 20 minutes.
Of course, that definitely happen.
Arsenal, I'd head that. Pep and Klopp is better about them, so he could just.
Don't say it with them. Unless they make the right signs. I think these need to make the right signs.
Think Leicester could push on again, win it?
No.
Who is there anyone out there that you think looks a Leicester player could go to Leicester?
Todd Cantwell maybe off Norwich could come in as fucking on the wings. Like I think he's played out wide a few times. Do you think Madison could switch out there?
Is he right, left or right?
I'm not sure. I think he played in the left. I think he's left. I think he played in the left a lot for them.
Do you think he's been better than Harvey Barnes this season?
I'd say so, yeah.
Do you think?
I think so. But I'm not like you can't really look at them and fucking and say like, oh, they're gonna sign some world class player. Like I think you need to sign players like that are just gonna come in and try.
But that works, as you say. Liverpool do it.
Yeah.
Like it does work. You're signing. It's all about your recruitment.
They had to look at Shaqiri maybe. Like if Shaqiri's on the way out, like could that be a fucking signing?
He might be on the way out, but yeah, someone like him though.
That could work for Leicester, yeah.
Callum Wilson as backup striker maybe.
Don't know how much they're gonna pay for him. Like yeah, Josh King maybe. We're meant to be linked with him again as well.
What about Ismail Assar?
Oh,
linked to
that
us.
would be a fucking proper signing.
That'd be a cute for Leicester.
That'd be a proper signing for them. But I think if they're Watford are down, right? Yeah, Watford went down. So
you know, like that's
20 mil for him maybe if he can get him.
25, 30 mil. I wouldn't mind Liverpool getting him, but I'm just like players available.
Yeah.
Leicester for me, right wing
more
than
that would be Buendia.
Yeah,
Buendia would
free
be
transfer. I think
quality,
he is,
like even quality. Is he a free transfer?
I think so.
No, surely not.
I think.
Fuck off. He's McRae like the third most chance in the league this season, or something like third or fourth most chance in the league this season.
I'm guessing if he was, he'd be gone now. Unless they signed him, I don't know. I did see that he could be available for free.
When like Jose Perez isn't a winger, like that's where they're playing.
Yes, sorry, Jose Perez. Yeah, I think he's more camp.
Yeah, like, he's like a second striker.
He hasn't done too bad, Perez.
He's alright, but he's just not a winger. Like I don't know. He's what's he called? Like 5-6 goals.
Yeah, no matter.
Yeah, I don't.
Could be wrong. Don't quote us on these guys. We don't have them in front of us.
Yeah.
Bit more research maybe next time.
Fucking Leicester fans apparently hate him though. Perez, like, just don't like him. Like.
I know. You think you're actually won the game.
He could be their backup striker, like if he fucking. But I don't know if he's good enough to be like a centre.
So.
Like,
and he doesn't see how Leicester play. I don't think he has the pace. Like Leicester, Vardy chases everything.
Yeah.
Like the ball, you're not getting it. He chases.
Yeah.
And he rushes you, and there's not many players like that. Like he's like a good goal scoring Shane Long.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I mean? Like he'll chase anything for you. Like
Shane Long is like 40 years old now.
Yeah,
man.
He only got good for us. He was 30.
He's 25. Like what are you talking about?
We were like, oh jeez, at least you have Shane Long. Have you seen? It's 32. Yeah.
What?
He's gone.
I think he's actually 34 years old.
Good God.
Like what?
He'll be brought down to the scene at 32. He's never scored. He scores like 2 goals a season.
And he scored that one against Germany, so it's alright. He
scored
the quickest goal ever, didn't he?
Yeah, against us.
Was it against you?
Yeah, it was.
Only last season.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. No, 8 seconds or something he scored, didn't he?
But that was like last season or something.
Yeah.
Was it?
I don't think it was us then.
It mustn't have been. I think it was like Bruyne or something.
No, sorry, I'm thinking, do I get it? Yeah, never mind me. Yeah, fucking. Look. I think Sal would be a brilliant sign for him. Absolutely brilliant.
I wasn't even thinking him. He'd be proper quality. Even fucking.
I think he's gone. I think he won't stay at Watford. I think he is gone.
He has to be.
I think he's either gone to one top. I think he's gone to one top 7.
Fucking ripped you apart, didn't he?
Oh my God, he did. We were at fucking 3s and 4s. Let alone 6s and 7s. We had 3s and 4s. He was brilliant that day. Be a great option for us. I'd love to sign him. If he's out Shaqiri, he would be perfect. He has the pace. Just I don't know what his work rate's like. He's not a slouch. Like he won't be an ozil, I don't think. But Klopp will get the best out of him.
Did they play him wing back a few times this season?
Did they?
I think he might have. I don't know, maybe I'm fucking talking to me arse. I'm not sure.
They got relegated.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe they did. But yeah, he'd be a deadly sign. Like so. Do you think? You look at Leicester and there's not even many players they could sell. Like only for the main players.
Really, like fucking Madison, but you shouldn't want to sell them.
No, like you might get 60-70 million for them, but like to get that quality in, you need to. Unless you're gonna. This is the difference between getting to the top 4 and just going for you know what I mean, like being in and around the 6, 7, 8 mark.
Yeah, they do.
That's the difference. If you're going to sell a 70 million player, you need to bring in something of the same quality. Unless you're willing, or you have something there and you're willing to get a player in that's only cost 5, 10, 15 million and walk him into that player. But I think if Leicester want to push for the top 4, they need to sign as good as what they have.
They need they do.
They can't sign or they can't sell. Like if they sell Maddison, if they can get more from Maddison than Grealish. And sell Maddison and get Grealish. That would be.
I don't think Grealish goes down.
I don't think so either.
I don't see why. Like it wouldn't make sense for him. Like,
no, I agree. I'm just like that's a sort of quality.
It's not a sideward step. But like, why would he leave? Like if he's leaving, I think he's gonna go to like.
But I don't think Villa are going to challenge for top 4. Whereas Leicester could.
Yeah, it is. I see Leicester falling maybe.
Here's me, and look, this is just me. Obviously, Man United come calling. I'm a Liverpool fan, so. But if Man United offer you a deal, and Leicester offer you a deal, and Leicester same amount of money, and Man United same amount of money, but Man United say, look, you'll only play very rarely, and Leicester play, look, you'll be a star player. Does that turn your head? Depend on the type of play you are, of course.
I don't think it would. I think, but apparently, really, fucking.
Like, here's the thing: Man United get you the contract,
Leicester, but
more than
Madison
likely you're signing. Because if they know Leicester are in, they're going to be like, look, we'll give you, what are they giving you? 120, we'll give you 150 to sign the contract, yeah.
Yeah, apparently Madison fucking even wants to join us. Like, so I don't know. Like, is he not?
I get that.
So
yeah,
it's hard,
I
don't know. Like, fucking, it depends. Like, it depends on. Would you? Well, because if they sold fucking Madison for 80 million, like Villa are gonna be like 80 million players. Like, they're not gonna get.
No, I get that. But then at the same time, like, if Villa need money, if they need money and they need to sell, and they say, look, we give you 50 or 60 and nothing more.
Yeah, but why they're coming out now and saying that they're not going to fucking do that, and if they are going to go 50, 60 million,
but it's only the window's only started.
Yeah,
window has only started. And if they're talking about Man United, they know you have it. They know, like, you've never, like, he's held off on Maguire for how long? 3 months, and then went and goes, right, we'll give you some money.
I think the price might actually put us off fucking. Really,
like, I don't think it's a smart move for us personally.
If we sign Sancho, like, that's 100 mil, like, and then we need to sort out other areas of the squad as well. Like, we can't just sign Grealish, because Grealish and Sancho, that's 180 million. We're not going to sign anybody else. Like,
yeah, I agree.
So we need to sort out fucking Van de Beek and all. Like, that could be a player that could come in and that fucking midfielder out there. But he's not
getting
really
him and Party for the price of Grealish.
And that is the thing I'm looking at. But I don't think he's Buendia. I think he could play in midfield. But
what about Thomas Partey to Leicester? Just a shout out because he's 40 million.
Yeah, but then what? Ndidi leaving?
That's what I'm saying. So they sell Ndidi for 78 million, and they get in Thomas Partey.
I don't see it, to be honest.
I don't think they're the same sort of player anyway.
No.
But you know what I mean. Like,
well, if you are switching to a 4-3-1, maybe. But I don't know. I don't really see.
I'm just like that's the hard thing with Leicester. Like, it is hard to look at the team. You know where they need to sign, but they're pulling power.
Yeah.
In terms of quality players, like Sarr for me would be a no-brainer, but for me, because for me they need a winger.
If bigger clubs are in for him, then he's going to go to them. But. That'd be a brilliant signing for them. Sorry.
Like, there's not many wingers. I mean, there might be some wingers in the league, like whether it's Zaha, but for me, he's not going to Leicester. He leaves Palace.
No.
Because Leicester just aren't that.
I think he is leaving, though, isn't he?
I think if they get top 4, you could say, oh, well, maybe they might take.
Surely Zaha's leaving this season. Like, surely.
Yeah, well,
he can't stay. Fucking, I don't know. Actually, yeah, because Arsenal.
Like Chelsea, you could say maybe they're getting Havertz. Oh, Havertz. They have Pulisic. That's signs Ziyech. I think forward wise they're done. Arsenal's the only team there, and they're at the signing Willian.
Yeah.
And as we already discussed, they need the money for other areas of the squad, like, definitely.
Yeah.
So maybe he stays, maybe he goes abroad. Everton.
Well, they were in for more last season.
You see, that's the thing. Like, you have to. You say
he's a proper Everton sign, though.
That's what I'm saying. But you say, like, oh, he won't go to Leicester, but he'll go to Everton.
Yeah, it's true, but I don't see Leicester making them moves. Like,
me either. That's like Leicester are the team that they like to sign in players and make them into players. Yeah. Like, they tried to go with the big yoke with Slimani, didn't work. Gazal,
the only one that you'd say maybe is Tielemans, but he made him into kind of like that season. Like, he's been talked about for years, like football manager legend. But
yeah, very true. And Richelli Azor and players like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he always had the potential. Tielemans. But yeah, it is hard. Like, look, I'm gonna give them obviously a B. Because they finished fifth. Like, considering the expectation before the side, they did tail off, like, what, 1 win the last 5 matches. That's really what fucked them up, like. And that's when the injuries came for them. So, like, barring injuries, you could say they will. They have, as you said and alluded to already, I would say they're back 8. And maybe they have 9 players in there with definitely starting positions.
And the keepers. They're meant to be in the Casper Michael as well. But I don't know about that.
You know, so like, it's wingers.
It's their wingers. And maybe a backup striker. 2 wingers.
I would say a striker. They have got the Mary Gray, in fairness.
Yeah.
But I don't like if
he
for top 4. I think he's a good option off the bench because he has that bit of pace if you're losing or you're winning 1-0 and teams are coming on to you. You have him.
I was hoping the last game of the season. No shit myself. Remember that thing that BT did like at the start of the season where they did like the script of the Premier League season and they did all the predictions. Like,
yeah.
The fucking the thing that showed up was that Damari Gray ends Man United Champions League's hope on the last day, and I was like, if this fucker comes on, I'm gonna shit myself. And he did end up coming on. It was oh my god.
But yeah, as you said, like, in fairness, we're saying like, oh, they don't really sign them type of players, but for me, like, they've signed a lot of really good players. So Ricardo Pereira, as we already
they have said, again.
So maybe they will.
It's just that front 3 maybe that
they can't get the Mahrez. That's what they're looking for. They can't get it.
They're not going to get a player like that. Shadas. That's what they need.
FM. But yeah, look, as I said, B-. I don't see them signing.
No.
I don't know. They haven't looked like they've made any moves at the minute.
No. We'll see. The transfer window's fucking brilliant.
It is open. It will be nice to see. Like, obviously we don't want everyone, but like if they can get in the right players, there's a couple of teams there that are like 2 or 3 good signings off, like challenging for that top 4. And look, there is always a surprise in the league. There always is. Like Man United could go top of the league next season, you know, and that wouldn't be that much of a surprise. But there is always a surprise in the season.
Yeah. And that is anything.
You know, unless there could be that again.
Like we weren't expecting Sheffield United to be challenging for top 4 from the majority of the season.
Most of the season, like
fucking mad.
They ended up fucking 12 points outside. That's not great.
Yeah.
Couple of red cards, bad results. Newcastle in one in particular. I think they lost 3 or 4.
They were great. Well, them and Wolves did decent for us because they took points off fucking teams around us.
Yeah. They smashed Chelsea actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we leave at Leicester with a B.
B, yeah. B.
I'd say B.
Between a C and a B, so basically a B minus. Everything's been a minus. But fucking City.
What can you say about City?
What, like, man.
It's failure of a season unless they win Champions League.
Pep Guardiola's a failure. That's what
It could be bold and say that. Like, I mean, he's never really been tested.
Never.
Not really been tested.
Not at one club. The whole like his biggest fucking.
See, it's hard because I'm a Liverpool fan. Obviously, I don't like City, and he's a Man United fan. Obviously, doesn't like City.
Well, like, come on, man. You can't finish that far off the pace with that squad. Like, it just can't happen. I know, yeah, Laporte's injured for the season. But why are you playing Fernandinho centre back? Like, what are you doing?
And look, I know Otamendi is not the finished fucking article, but surely if Pep is the best manager in the world, he gets something out of him. Like, he gets something out of him, for fuck's sake.
What was he? League team of the season before fucking he joined them?
Yeah, he's not shy, and John Stones isn't shy either. No. And Man City play so much on the front foot that like they only need to defend for a couple of minutes in the game. I
do think they really miss Fernandinho in midfield, but that's a tactical. Like, he needs to play with Fernandinho in midfield and just put the defender in. Like, yeah, you sign Rodri, but like against the counter attack, like the biggest fucking example of it was the Wolves game for me. Like, where he just got countered, and fucking Adama Traore just ripped him a new arsehole.
Yeah, like, he's a beast.
He's unreal, yeah.
He was beastly, man. But yeah, I don't like. The thing is, so like they go out, they're at the losing the league by a lot of points, right? But if it was just a Laporte, well then Laporte will be back for next season. I get the whole cover thing. They're at to get in that game. That's a good signing. So then why do they need Koulibaly and 4 more other players if he's that good of a manager?
Yes.
There's not like that is point in the league. Say whatever you want. That's point. Apparently 4 more players. They have to sign in Ferran Torres and Nathan Ake.
Now who the fuck else are they going to get? Are they actually going to?
I'm guessing they're going to get left back. Yeah. Even though they only spent 50 million on Benjamin
That is the one position where there's probably I know, but
and they have Zinchenko who looks okay. Are they going to sign David Silva replacement even though they have one? Like, who are the 4 players that they're going to get? Look, it's all speculation bollocks at the minute, but like, I think there's talks with Koulibaly. You just have to sign that guy. You sign Ferran Torres. Surely that must be it.
It's like,
but like, even if he goes on to win it now, look, what's it? Oh, he took the title off Liverpool. That's the best he can do. But like, for me, if he goes out and spends another 300 million after spending nearly £1 billion, like,
yeah, okay, fair
you
enough.
have to win the league. Then
if you don't win the league, if he spends 300 million and doesn't win the league next year, like, this is what I've said for fucking like Pep Guardiola. Yes, Man City finished 4th the season he took over, but Manuel Pellegrini, I think he's an awful manager. Like, an awful. All they needed, I think, City was a fucking good manager, and they got a good manager, Pep Guardiola. You can't say he's not a good manager. But what I'm saying is, like, the team he took over had Sterling, De Bruyne, Aguero, Silva, Fernandinho. He even had Yaya Toure, Vincent Kompany. Yaya Toure is on his last legs a bit, but fucking Vincent Kompany. Like,
in fairness, they need a bit of a rejig.
They needed fullbacks and a keeper. That's what they needed.
But they got that, and then spent like 100 million on centre backs.
And he finished 3rd that season, and fucking the season that they had all them world class players, and then. Fucking and they're the players that have put them on. But then, okay, you sign Claudio Bravo. We show you. Okay, I'll spend another 50 million on a fucking keeper. Like, he's playing fucking cheat mode. Like, it's not fucking fair.
Yeah, it is. He's playing cheat code.
He's doing fucking. He's down at the
Sugar Daddy FM. Man.
Like, it's fucking.
Sugar Daddy FM.
It's shite. Like, it's fucking. I hate City. I hate them. Like.
Yeah, I hate them too. Like, and only for that. Like, whatever. It's not Pep. Look, I think Pep's good. And look, he's been at Barcelona and he's had the best team there. He's been at Bruyne and. To me, underachieved.
He did underachieve
because he didn't win the Champions League. Like,
they
was always proud on that they were going to win the league. And I don't think they won every season that he was there. All 3. Was he there for 3 seasons?
2, maybe 3. No, what did he say? 13 and 14 was the 4th season. Yeah, he was there for 3 seasons. But fucking yeah,
but like. Then he comes to City and he's playing with cheat codes and he has a bit of a job, we'll say, to do and getting a fullback and a keeper.
Yeah, but then he did that and then fucking...
He done that and
the fullback is gone, the fucking...
He's still trying to get it right.
Yeah.
4 seasons out, he still needs a centre back and he still needs a fullback.
When things don't go right for him, the fucker melts down. Remember in his 4th season, like, in all them interviews, it was like, okay, yeah. Like, he fucking loses his goddamn mind, like... Fucking...
For me, I think, like... They're a replica of what not to be for me in football. Like,
and that's it.
I get, look, teams are going to spend money, and Man United are going to spend money, and for me, Man United are the second team to them in terms of like how they spend.
Yeah.
And they have been until Ollie for me came in. They just spent for the sake of spending.
Yeah. No, we did a lot of that,
But since Ollie has come in for me, they bought where they needed the boy. They haven't just said, "Oh, we're going to buy him because of this." They needed a centre back. They got Harry Maguire. They needed a right back. They got Wan-Bissaka. They needed a forward thinking player. They got Bruyne. They need a winger.
They're
looking at Sancho now.
Look, we got rid of
it is a lot of money.
We fucking did a bit of squad rotation. Like, it was,
but
we didn't fucking. We're not like we never, even in all our spending money, we never had the ability to fucking. And to be fair, Mourinho, when he was in charge, brought it up like that. We didn't have the ability to have a keeper and then be like, no, we don't want him. Like the best
let's get another
one. Oh, we don't like him either. Oh, we're gonna get another one. Like we and fucking the centre backs like John Stone's 50 million.
And no one really gets said about it. Like if he is for me the best, we were talking about Mourinho and stuff and getting the best out of players. Like if he is, look, Sterling is unbelievable. 20 goals this season, unbelievable. He is really unbelievable. Kevin De Bruyne, man, he's on another planet.
The best
he
midfielder
is
in the world, like.
unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Fernandinho might be aging a little bit, but they have Rodri, 60 million. He was a good player. He's not none of this shite. He's not shy.
No.
He's a really good player. Like they have Laporte, best centre back in the league, up there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's up there with
Ederson, best keeper in the league, up there with Alisson.
Yeah. Like what do you like?
Then they have Sterling, best winger in the league, up there with Mane. Salah's up there. Rashford plays in the wing, you could say that too.
Like, but like, it's not even just that; it's their fucking bench. Like
then someone gets injured and Mahrez, there you go.
Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, fucking.
So things aren't working. Let's bring on Jesus and David Silva and fucking Riyad Mahrez and see if we get a goal. We're winning 6-0. Right, Aguero, come on. Like, but yeah, if he wins the league, he's the best manager in the world. And if he doesn't win it, it's Liverpool were just too good. It
doesn't make sense. And like what? Like if you take all these players that they have, like fucking look at them 5 years ago. Like look at where players that Klopp took over war. Like you can look at them now and say they're fucking brilliant players.
That's the difference.
Like if you look at fucking Henderson, Wijnaldum, and fucking Fabinho as a midfield, like that's. Like if you would have said that's a midfield fucking
who's going to win the league
and Champions League, like it's like what
and the Champions League, you'd be like, no way, Wijnaldum and Henderson. Like Henderson was scapegoated for seasons, and even by Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
Look, I've never said Henderson's the best creative player or anything like that. He was always a work engine and he always gave 100%, and that's what Klopp wants out of his midfield.
Yeah.
Milner, another brilliant player.
He come in and
he just does a job. Like.
Yeah.
Robertson came from Hull, he was 8 million. Joe Gomez 3 million. We did spend big in fucking Van Dijk and Alisson, and we'll get to Liverpool soon, but for me, City is just want not to be in a club. Like they're like a Paris Saint-Germain.
Genuinely, I don't think fucking like at this moment anyway. Like,
and to be honest, it is a credit to Liverpool.
To be honest, like.
For me, it's a credit that Liverpool, because realistically, based on the spend and the way he's done it, this should be like the French league. It should be City should be that much clearer of the rest of the team, and they're not. And that's why for me, Pep hasn't done it.
Yeah.
He's won titles and that's fine, and it's hard to consistently win leagues. I get that. But when you have the best players every season and then you sign the best players on top of having the best players and you get an injury and you still have the best players,
and this is the thing about the money. Like,
you have to win. You just have to win things.
The reason why I think like the money isn't as far like as like much of a distinction between like say what United and what City spent, like it's a few $100 million, but it's not fucking mental, is because when they started to build this squad, it was like 10 years ago and prices weren't anywhere near what they are now. So they signed fucking Sergio Aguero for fucking what was it? 40 million fucking, like, so then players would have been 60, 70 at least million pound players. Like they would have went, so they would have fucking been like over like billions over the last fucking like
100%. 100%. Like De Bruyne, they got him for 50 million.
Yeah.
Like they haven't. I think we have a higher record than them in terms of spending Liverpool.
Yeah, but that's.
I think the highest. I think is a 60-something million. Is it Cancelo?
Yeah, and that was the thing with United.
Like Cancelo is a backup right back for them. 65 million or 62 million or something. He's a backup. Our backup is Neco Williams. He came up from the youth. Our starting one cost us nothing. Our starting centre back is 3 million. And our starting left back is 8 million, and we don't have a backup left back. And we won the league by 18 points, but Liverpool were just so good, and Pep didn't fail, and he's failed. He's failed this season. No, look, they're still in the Champions League.
If they win the Champions League, fair enough to them, but
you would say, oh yeah, fair enough.
We're not fucking there yet, so...
Like, every season, because of how City spend, should just be a foregone conclusion. Like, it's like when you're at a club after like 4 or 5 seasons, and you've actually got the team that you want. It becomes boring.
Yeah.
It do, like you're not enjoying it anymore. You're like, oh, I might go somewhere else and try build up a team. That's the whole fun of it, like building your team. But you don't just go in and say, I'm going to spend 200 million on that. No. And then, next season I'm going to spend 300 million. You have to buy, you have to sell players to buy and get in replacements and make your players better.
Your squad, like, it's not
and bring like Phil Foden is an example of like, City should be doing that all the time. Like, they should. Players like Phil Foden, they're at the level now where they should be bringing players through the youth academy. Like, they should be. They shouldn't. David Silva's retired. Phil Foden comes in. Yet they still might buy a David Silva replacement. Because Phil Foden was still playing and David Silva was still playing when they were there, like, you know. So they're going to just rotate. He likes to have 6 options in attacking midfield because just in case one of them gets injured. It is. Look, it's like, oh, look at these bitches whinging like about Man City and stuff. And we are whinging, but.
And I think they're going to win the league next season, to be honest. Like, I think they're going to spend enough money just to fucking blow it. Like, they're going to do it again. Like, I think they will.
Yeah, I think they might. Yeah, I think, like, you can even see towards the end of the season, like, teams weren't getting near them. Like, they were winning. They smashed us, I think 4-0. Teams aren't getting near them. In terms, we had the league wrapped up, you could say, and you could say that. Normally we don't really get smashed by them. That only one man I got sent off, but like, it's going to become, and all the things that are praising it now, and then the financial fair play thing is just baffling to me. It's actually baffling because how?
Like, you don't get fined 10 mil unless you did something wrong.
Yeah. Like, so it must have been a payoff or something like that. Look, we're only speculating. We can't tell you exactly what happened.
Allegedly, but fucking.
But like, yeah. So, we're gonna fine you 10 million because you've done nothing wrong, and City go, grand. No. You're like, thanks for letting us off with that. We'll pay 10 million. That's. So we're obviously like, but then it gives off a dreadful thing because now any club, the rich clubs are just going to be able to spend. There's going to be a big gap now. The thing that the Premier League has is that little teams like Norwich beat City this season, and that's good to see, and you don't want to lose that.
No.
You don't want to be like, right, so the top 6 or the top 4 teams have 32 wins guaranteed every season. It comes down to them placing each other. It's boring like that. You want to have, fucking Burnley are at the nicking points off Man United, Burnley are at the nicking points off Liverpool, Newcastle are at the beating City. You want things like that. That's what makes it fun. The league for me will go a wrong way if financial fair play is being let away by City like that. Like, if they go out and spend another 300 million, like, it's just, what does that say to the rich clubs?
And they will, like, they're going to. It's happening.
Of course they will. And not even sell, not even to try. Like, fair enough, if you go out and you sell Otamendi and you sell Jones, and they might do that. Like, this is all speculating. We don't know the season. The transfer window's just open. Like, they might go out and do that. Like, they might go out and sign fucking Koulibaly for 70-80 million and then sell Otamendi for 20-30 million each. But then fair enough. There's nothing you can do. Like, that's how a club should be ran. But when you're not even bothering getting rid of players, and you literally just have not even in the fucking 18-man squad.
Yeah.
When John Stones was 50 million quid, like, the backup alone, I think, does Zinchenko play a bit more than Benjamin Mendy?
I think he has this year. Well,
right, so you have John Stones out to Mendy, that's 80 million. Joe Cancelo 60 million, and Benjamin Mendy 60 million.
That's
200 million your backups. It's your backups. But yeah, he shouldn't. He's not a fraud. He should have won the league. I shouldn't have won the league. Liverpool were too good.
Like, fuck off, man. Like, yeah, alright. Even if they did win it, say they got 99 points.
Their backup, their second team should get top 4.
Exactly, 100%. Like 100%.
Probably top 3.
Yeah, like, that's genuinely.
Like, you have Mahrez in there, Bernardo Silva with Rodri and Gundogan, with Jesus, and at the time they had Sané, like, last season. That team
should be fucking. Oh, it's mad. Like,
my God, that
like,
team.
Right, fair enough. Say they didn't win the league and they got 98 points. You wouldn't say fucking like they were right neck and neck for the end of the season, but they got fucking blown out of the water.
It was done in February, like.
Absolutely done.
It was done in February. But yeah, they didn't have Laporte. Like,
so the one area of the squad that you haven't fucking
your job when you came in
fucking, like,
was we need to get the back sorted and get a goalkeeper. And that 3 years later, that's still your fucking. You need a back. You need a left back and a centre back. Still,
it's not like your centre back got injured, so that's fucking. It's just
Instead of going out and spending 60 million on a right back last year, why didn't you go out and replace Company? If that's like, you know what I mean? Or spend 40 million on each.
You went to get Maguire, weren't you? But then you fucking, they said you couldn't afford him. What?
Okay.
Pep, yeah, we wanted him, but we couldn't afford him. Fuck off, you couldn't afford him. What are you talking about?
Like, it's hard now to even say, like, who do they sign? Because it's more so who like, whoever they want, they will sign. Like, for me, I'm not like being bitter around, but I can't say to you, like, I think they obviously need a centre back, which we alluded to. Maybe a left back. Although Benjamin Mendy has the quality, he just needs to be coached better for me. 100%. And Zinchenko is he's probably the best backup option. He's like, if you look at any. Yeah, but if you look at Liverpool's backup left back, which you don't have, Chelsea's backup, Arsenal's, yours, or Man United, it's Spurs. Yeah. Zinchenko is better than all of them. It's that simple. Like, he starts for most of them clubs. Like, yeah, probably. He starts for Chelsea, probably. Definitely starts for, well, maybe Kieran Tierney, but he's centre back. Starts for Spurs easily as Vertonghen. Then there's a thing down there, Luke Shaw and Zinchenko. Like, that would be the battle, but he definitely gets in ahead of Williams for me.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so he's your backup. Or well, it's fair enough, Benjamin Mendy's your backup, but he starts definitely. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, teams don't have the luxury of having the 60 million backup left back to come in. And to be honest, I hope we never do. I don't want Liverpool ever to really get to a state. Obviously, you get frustrated when you see Manchester United signing Jadon Sancho and Man City signing players and Chelsea signing Bruyne and Havertz and stuff like that, and Liverpool are out and they're looking at Lewis. But Liverpool are in a state now, and this is why I don't panic anymore. I used to be like, fuck, we need to sign this player, we need to do this. I have 100% just trust in Klopp. He knows what he's doing. It's that simple. Like, and I don't think City have that luxury. Like, it's just we'll buy until we want to stop buying.
Yeah. E.
I wouldn't say E.
D minus.
Only because they're still in the Champions League, and I think they might win the Champions League. To be honest, I'll give them a C. C minus.
Man. Oh, that's too high, I think, for them.
Maybe a D plus. Maybe a D plus, because they should win it every year.
I go D.
Maybe D plus C. Look, I'm sort of caught in a bit there, because I do think that they're going to win the Champions League, and I think if they win the Champions League, you know, you can't give someone a D for winning the Champions League. I think it does have to be a C based on me thinking that they're going to win the Champions League. Maybe a B.
But that's the thing. Like, if they win the Champions League, you give them a B. If they don't win the Champions League, you give them a D. I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Maybe a B. I mean, you can't win Champions because we won Champions League. Your season wasn't a C last year. Like, yours was an A. But that's based off of we came 1 point off top. Like, City are expected to win Champions League and the league, and they haven't won the league, and they haven't even get close to the league. And if they don't win the Champions League, well, then it's a failure of a season. For me, it's already a failure of a season based on how they.
I think they will win the Champions League.
I think they will as well.
Right. I think we will leave you cunts to last because fucking we need to talk about the best team at the last, I suppose.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah.
We will. We'll leave it for the last.
Man United. Right. Best.
You see, it's sort of a tale of two halves, if you ask me. Like, starting to see the first half of the season, it's a case of they're not really doing much. Yeah. If you ask me, like they're underperforming.
I don't know. See, it's hard.
Or overperforming. It is hard because of injuries.
When you have your all your best players, like McTominay, right, for the first 3 months of the season, he was probably like our best. He was definitely our best midfielder.
Yeah, most consistent.
Got injured. Before that, Paul Pogba out for the whole season up until fucking February. Or not even February. Fucking whenever the league, was it February when the league came back? I think it was, wasn't it?
The league came back?
Yeah. No. When the league ended, I mean fucking June when when the league ended, it was February. So he didn't even come back then. He came back in June. But Pogba out all season, fucking basically up until the end. Fucking Ting injured, Martial injured, Rashford injured, McTominay injured. Like, we had all these injuries, long-term injuries, and the players that we had to play during them times, like Andres Pereira got like 20 starts in the league this season. Like, and that was like, most of them came at the start of the season. Like the vast majority.
Well, that's hence the reason why it literally is a tale of two halves, man. Right?
And then and you can say, oh well, the manager should coach. I don't think any manager is getting, like, Klopp had a similar problem when he went to Liverpool where he couldn't break teams down. Like, we could not break teams down with Lingard and Pereira as our two main creative options. Like, we didn't have them players with Pogba out. If Pogba had been fit the whole season,
but wasn't there talk of Pogba was like nearly faking injuries and shit? At the time, I don't know if it was true or not, but I'm just like,
he had an
wasn't it
I think that was.
Wasn't there videos and shit of him like playing basketball?
There was videos and fucking like. But people don't like people that
like has the Bruno Fernandes arrival settled Paul Pogba?
I think it definitely has, but I don't think that's why.
Like if Bruno doesn't come in, does Pogba leave?
Like Pogba had an operation.
I think Pogba will leave.
I think he would have if he. Well, I don't know.
Bruno doesn't. I think.
I don't know if he would have been able to because of COVID. Like I don't know if anyone would have fucking been giving us 120 million for him or whatever. But,
yeah, true.
Apparently they're talking about getting him a new deal and he wants a new deal. So
yeah, no, that's what I know. Look, you can tell by how he's playing and how he's focused that his attitude has changed. But I just up until then, like there was talk and reports,
but it was bollocks. Like it wasn't even reports; it was just fucking people.
Not even a faking an injury, but just letting on that he wasn't as injured as he.
But he had a fucking operation.
He actually was.
He had an operation, and it wasn't even that. He came back. Like he was playing, then he came back and then he got injured and then he had to go and have an operation.
Ollie played him against fucking MK.
Yeah, he tried to bring him back like match fitness wise, where he'd give him like 10 minutes at the end of a few games.
Did he not start him against someone?
No, I don't think so. I think he only brought. No, I remember he brought him on in a few games in a row. Anyway, I don't think he started.
No, I think did he not get injured in the FA Cup or something?
I think he got injured against like Watford. It might even in the FA Cup, but I think he still only brought him on. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he started.
Might be wrong as well.
No, yeah, he got injured again and then had to have an operation. But but yeah, with that fucking team that we had we had Dan James on the right who had a decent start to the season, but you could tell like he's not like at the end, like towards the end, like you could tell the quality difference between players like fucking Rashford and Martial and fucking him like and fucking Bruno Fernandes and Greenwood especially. Like, you could tell. What I will say is about like I haven't seen a better managed youth player coming into a startup than set up than Greenwood. Like the way he fucking built them up, like he gave him a few minutes here, and then he just
Rashford.
What?
Rashford.
He just kind of came in and fucking.
In fairness, I know it was like a forced fucking decision that Wenger had to make.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but after that, then you have a decision to make. He's had to come on. He's had to get 2 goals. Did he score twice? I think on his debut, did he?
Rashford, yeah. Oh well, yeah. I know he scored one.
So then you have a decision to make as a manager, like whereas. Now look, I'm not saying that Mason Greenwood hasn't been. I'm just giving an argument as like. Was Rashford better?
But that's I don't. Like, what I'm saying.
Because
like,
then you have to make a decision. Like, do I stick with Rashford or do I?
But because it wasn't like what I'm saying is like the planning from Mason Greenwood to bring him in, to integrate him into the squad has been the best I've ever seen. Like from a youth player, like the way he's brought him into the squad,
big statement.
Perfectly. I haven't seen that better. Like the way he's brought him in perfectly, and he fucking unbelievable at the end of the season. But yeah, like, and see, you couldn't really fucking say, oh, well, why didn't he play him at the start? Because he was fucking, up until lockdown, he was a little fucking scrawny. You can just see him coming back out of lockdown, fucking 2 kg after. But,
I'm saying that, yeah. He has built up a bit like fucking Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Another example of really good management.
Yeah, he was fucking done perfectly as well. But fucking, yeah, but, like, the first part of the season, the first part of the season was awful. Like, it was terrible. Like, I was like, fucking, this is. Like we're playing some awful football. We're not doing that anymore. We're great against big teams where we can counter attack and use our pacing behind, and that's why there was points in the season where I questioned Ollie, but generally I've been pretty supportive of him because I've seen in the big games that it's like
when it's open.
He has the tactics to fucking to mitigate an opposition and then fucking and do well like, and that's what we use. Like, and you can say, oh, we only had pace, but like every fucking team in the league basically has pace. Like his tactics, like he did brilliantly in them big games, but when it came to breaking teams down, we were just shocking. Like we couldn't do it. Like until we got a player that could actually do it in Bruno Fernandes, and as soon as he came in, the season just completely turned around and turned into fucking. Like we're still like it's a fucking stupid thing to do, but since he came in, I think we're top of the table. Like it's a stupid fucking way of looking at it, but like you can see him. I'm just saying based on the improvement, like since he came in, which is February, which is a long time. I think we were top of the table. Maybe Liverpool are just ahead of us, but
no, I don't think we are. So we didn't finish the season.
Yeah, I know at the end of the season. But I mean February.
Seen that like that.
Since lockdown, we're definitely top. Since lockdown, we're definitely. But I'm saying since Fernandes signed, I think we're top as well. But definitely since lockdown, anyway, we're top of the table. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic going into next season. There's definitely some players that.
So yeah, definitely Ollie's at the wheel. Yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely Ollie in, like 100%. I'm 100% Ollie in, like 100%.
Obviously, there's not going to be much shout about it. Like obviously, he's done. He's done what he's needed to do.
Was he expected to finish higher than third? Like was there ever going to be a thing that he was going to do?
No.
So he finished third, and he could still win a trophy. Semi-cup final was the semi-final of the FA Cup was fucking awful against Chelsea. Like that was one of the worst.
But that's when you would have to look at it in a way as at that point, right? You look at the season. Now this is just me nitpicking here, right?
Yeah.
You look at the season as a whole, Man United, and you come up against a big opposition, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say he's were favourites for a lot of them games. Like you played the Cities and Liverpool's, he's weren't favourites.
No.
even Chelsea at some parts of the season, like obviously the first time he's played them, these aren't favourites. So obviously favourites would be expected to come out and go at you, right? But then when it matters, and you're coming into the game, and and you're coming into a game that matters, where Ollie now he needs to get it right now, because if he doesn't, he's out of the cup and he gets it wrong. And it wasn't a case of he got it wrong a little bit. His team selection at the start was.
But that was at the point he made a choice at that point to be like, we need the rest of these fuckers, like we can't play them like fucking for the rest of, like we need to go for top 4, like that's, he prioritised top 4 over the fucking FA Cup, like that was. And
but then, so why go so far and then say, right, we need to prioritise? Is it just because he didn't expect to be down for top 4?
Because we just fucking drop points. We drop points against
no, but that's my point is that.
And West
Ham. So he obviously went. He got it. He got just to semi-finals.
Yeah.
Was it just at that point where he said, right, let's fuck this now. Let's focus on the league.
It was sandwiched literally. Like Chelsea had a week off between.
But that was COVID-19.
No, I'm talking about FA Cup semi-final. Like,
yeah, but that's how all the fixtures were just put together.
Yeah, but
like
Chelsea
the FA Cup would not normally have been that.
Had a week longer than us, like 4 days longer than us to prepare for that match. Like they had like a week. We had 2 days, 3 days to fucking get ready for that match. And the squad, you could see it was. I'm not sure if it was after the Palace or the Southampton game, but we could see like that was when the wheels like started to fucking come off a bit. Like we scraped the win against Palace, but we just looked leggy and fucked, like, and we needed to rest players down. It was just before the Leicester game, actually, was it? Was it just before the last game of the season?
Yeah.
So we played West Ham.
I completely understand where I get that, but my point would be, he's looking at it like the players. You're coming up to the last game of the season now, right? You've one game after this match, and should he even go and play? Do you know what? We'll give him 60 minutes. And we'll go watch Chelsea.
That's what we did. We've done that, and every game we were playing.
And then say, right, look, we're losing here, or we're winning. I need to make a change. I do need to look onto the next match. I get what you're saying. But Chelsea played Jules, and Chelsea need to win the last match of the season, but they didn't rest players.
Yeah, but they weren't fucked because they had a week off. But it's not like you could tell, like the legs of our players, like for them last 3 league fixtures before the Chelsea game was West Ham we drew. So Crystal Palace we managed to get a win, and then fucking Southampton. Like we just looked fucked, and what we were doing before, we were battering teams.
Got a week extra, or Chelsea got a week extra.
I'm telling you, like, but it wasn't a week extra. It was 4 days of extra. But before that,
I do think, me personally, I would find it baffling that if you go to the semi-finals and you have one match left of the season, look, we need to beat Leicester. I get that. But you're in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. You had to come in all this way. I don't see why he goes, right, now we need to rest players. Look, things have been. So then here's the next question then. So could he not have arrested maybe players against West Ham?
Like, there's still a league,
as a lesser opposition, opposed lesser opposition.
But again, that's what I'm saying is that he saw the league as the thing that he needed. Because if he got to the FA Cup, basically the season we would have had. Say if he did rest players against West Ham and fucking them kind of teams, and we lost to West Ham, we drew West Ham even though anyway, like, so say if we fucking rested the players and team and lost, then we would have fucking 2 points less, and then we had gone.
No, I get it. That wouldn't have worked. I get that, but like it's still. The point is that I get what you're saying. The only argument I'm having is you had to come in so far into the FA Cup.
Yeah, you can say that. I
think for me personally, I think the team selection for starters he got wrong.
But he got it wrong. But
there was also some individual mistakes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
which did fuck it up, and it's hard to blame. Man,
you can't know what's going to happen there. But they were a better team, 100%.
Of course they were.
But fucking, like, if say the Hay doesn't make them mistakes, you don't know.
And if Chelsea don't score straight away in the second half, well then it's different again. I do get that.
But I will say, like,
but I'm just saying, as a manager, and your first thing is, did he choose to? Are you happy that he made that decision? Like,
I'm not happy, but I understand it. I'm not happy. Like, I'm not happy that we're able to fucking I was expecting.
Do you think he should have went for it a bit more?
Maybe, but I
do you think the strongest starting 11 available should have played?
I don't think the strongest 11 available now. I think Fred McTominay needed to go in because Max and Pogba were fucked. And Pogba, I think, did Pogba start? Or Fernandes start? I think Pogba come on afterwards, yeah. But someone got injured or something. But yeah, like them 2 players, like especially them 2, were fucked at the end of the season. Like, and that's why they need to be rested. And then Dan James come in for fucking was it Greenwood? I'm not sure.
No, I think Greenwood played, did he?
Maybe Greenwood played. It might have been someone else. It might have been Rashford.
Maybe he did. Maybe didn't.
Maybe the Martial. I think Martial might have. I don't know. And then Boye gets injured and all during the game. So it was a fucking. I don't know. It's hard to say. Because we can't look at.
Look, a change of seasons. Then I get that. Of course, different.
Like, say if we we can't tell what would have happened if he had arrested hadn't arrested player for that, played him, and then we come into Leicester and lose. Like,
yeah, of course. Like, yeah, on paper he's got top 4. He's done the job.
Yeah.
and that's it.
And then you were still in the Europa League, so if he wins a trophy, then it's fucking.
Well, of course, then it's perfect season.
Proper quality season, like you can't expect that more than that.
So worst player for Man United this season?
Pereira, probably.
Best player. Is it between a couple or is it outstanding?
This is actually fucking. The thing is like, well, you can say like the best performer like when he played was Bruno Fernandes. Like that's not even a question.
Of the season.
But of the whole season,
see, well,
there's a lot of
there's
players
the
there,
question because obviously you can only base Bruno off of the season as Man United. So obviously, like you know what I mean. You can't base it like from September.
No,
because
and that's the thing. You
now.
can't really say. But you can't. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to give someone the player of the season when they've only played since February. So I don't know. Like, but he has been like when he's played, he's been the best player 100%. But other than that, there's a few candidates in there. Like there's Wan-Bissaka, there's Rashford, there's Martial, and I'd probably would give it to Martial. I think he's probably been the best player overall in the season. Like Rashford's been brilliant as well. But like I think the thing is right. I think at the start of the season, and could have 2 points right. At the start of the season, Rashford was our best player for fucking up until he got injured in December. And Martial was the second best player, and then after that Fernandes was the best player, Martial was the second best player. So like overall throughout the season you'd probably give it to Martial.
Like, motion system perform. Makes sense.
So I'd probably give it to Martial.
Right, and Ollie, I mean it's probably easy to say, but who does he need to sell?
He needs to get right, here's what like Pereira, Lingard and Matic should be gone. They're 3 players that I'd get rid of, and I'd bring in someone to replace them. Phil Jones needs to get the fuck out of here. Smalling needs to go, Rojo needs to go.
Do you think they all will go this season?
I could see one of them sticking around. I could actually see it being Smalling. Even though
he might be needed on, to be honest.
Because he's direct to bringing them back, like.
They have to,
even in the middle of a season though, like they asked for an extension, they were like, nope. Like their season.
Because they were still in Europa.
Yeah.
That's why they would have been possibly going against us.
Yeah.
Ollie taking no shit, tell you that much.
Well, he wouldn't have play anyway. He wouldn't have play. But
did he play for us? Did he?
Well, if he's playing for, he was on loan. I don't think he.
No, he couldn't play. We couldn't play against us. Is my point.
Yeah, but he could play against other teams. Like.
Yeah, but what do you mean?
Like he would not play. He could play against us. Like I don't know if he would have played against us.
He might have been. Yeah, he might have been. But sometimes they don't put that in.
Maybe. I know it's not the same in other leagues actually. I know like if you go on loan to someone in another league.
Yeah, because I know it is in England. I know Chelsea and fucking. I remember I can't even think who it was.
Dean Henderson couldn't play Sheffield against us. Yeah, that's it. There's another one. There's another fucking conundrum for next season.
That was my next question.
Do we bring Dean Henderson back into the squad? Get rid of the hay? I don't know. Can we cash in on the hay now? Is someone going to pay him £400 a week to fucking throw the ball into his own every week? Like, to be fair, like my problem with the hay isn't even so much of mistakes. It's his all-round play as a keeper just isn't really up to it.
Do you think that's like obviously I'm not saying this as a fan, so it doesn't really bother me what the fuck I say, but like, is that harsh on the Hayek?
It is.
I know how bad he's been, but just based on everything he's given to Man United as a whole,
he was a bit like.
Is it hard to say he's not up to scratch now?
2 seasons ago, like in Mourinho's, like and fucking Mourinho was talking about fucking getting a second and all. He didn't get it. The Hayek got like, that season, man. I've never seen anything like him, man.
Top draw,
I've never seen anything like him.
Against us, I remember some of the saves, Coutinho's.
And fucking Arsenal, he saved.
And Arsenal, oh my god, like Arsenal, yeah.
Jesus Christ. And the Sevilla game, even though we ended up losing, I remember fucking like 2 yards out, someone hit. Man, I've never seen a keeper have that good of a season ever. Like, it was unbelievable. But even then, like, and it's always been a thing, like, with the hair. I mean, you overlook it because, like, you can't not overlook it because of how fucking good he was, like. But he doesn't rush out of his goal. He stays in his line. He never fucking comes out and fucking does that. He doesn't come out for corners to try and catch them. He doesn't fucking. He's not. His distribution's gotten better this season actually than it was before.
That's the thing now with keepers. Like it's sort of like you have to have that now.
Yeah.
It's built in.
But to be fair, the reason that I think his distribution was so bad before was because Mourinho went, "Who for till I crack you?" Like that was the fucking plan before.
Play the left back there, will you?
Yeah, that was.
Stick Maguire at left back now.
Yeah, that was the fucking thing with Mourinho. Like he just. Just try and find the fucking. I remember I walked against you 1 year. Fucking.
Yeah, knock on Rashford.
But yeah.
But that was against Lovren, so.
Yeah,
like,
it's alright. Not really.
It doesn't count to you. But a rat had fucking Skirtle or fucking. What if took Carragher back?
He's a fucking spastic. That Lovren fella, isn't he? Like, yeah, I don't know. Henderson. To be fair, Henderson's made some like high profile mistakes as well this season, but he's been consistently better, and I think he has the highest save percentage in the league.
Do you think it's too early then? Or do you think now
maybe one more year, but depends, like, because if we do one more year and De Gea doesn't play well, are we going to be able to cash in on him and get as much money as we fucking would now?
Do you think you'll get much money now?
I'd say we get 40 mil at least from him. I'd say it's not great, but I'd say we get 40 mil from him.
40 mil is...
I'd say we get that from him, but it depends on, like, I think we'd have to fucking put in the selling team wage contribution in there as well. But fucking, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. That is a question. I don't know. I probably would give it another year. I probably would, because I don't know if Henderson's ready for that fucking.
You hang on to De Gea for the year.
For a year, I think.
Like, you don't give Romero a go.
It depends on how De Gea performs, but I don't know. I'd probably stick with De Gea for one more.
I'm only questioning. Like, I agree with most of the shit saying. It's just like all the time. De Gea's made a couple of mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, should Romero been given a couple more chances?
I think what apparently the thing with Romero is that.
Like, did Dolly do right by keeping De Gea in?
I don't know.
Through the mistakes. Or should he have said, right, you need it, like, you're in the headline too much, you need to just take a break from that. Get clear ahead and then come back.
But it wasn't like his mistakes kind of were spread out and then happened, and then they were spread out, and then like a few happened in a row, like, and then it went away from, like, and in general, like, it's just stopping in like, he's made some brilliant saves, like, this season, like,
his near post for me is probably a bit of a weakness. It's always been a bit of a weakness.
Kinda has been, like, it went away, like, it wasn't as bad for a few years, but kinda has been a bit of a fucking weakness. Like, that fucking there's a few fucking, the one that Bournemouth scored against us where he just fucking
Stanislas.
Yeah.
He fucking riddled bleeding
killed him. But
deadly over it.
Yeah. But look, with United, you can see the improvement there. We're still some way off. We still need a few players. I think we need
positions.
Right, so we need centre back. I'd say it's not the main priority. Right wing is the main priority. Jadon Sancho is coming in. Grand.
Here's my thing with Jadon Sancho.
Right. It's
Jadon Sancho, so like obviously, look, for starters, I'm just gonna get it right, because a lot of people, if they are watching this, are gonna be commenting saying, he's just jealous. You're fucking dead right, I'm jealous. Right. But here's the thing, I didn't ever expect Klopp to go out and spend 120 million on a player. I still don't, and I don't think I ever will. I think a lot of people are crying for the big signs, and look, we'll talk about that later on, but with Jadon Sancho, does it mess up the development a little bit in some ways of Mason Greenwood? Like, has Mason Greenwood been, for me, he's been that good that he needs to start now? For me, that's for me. Now, so do Man United go, right, we'll play 4-2-3-1, or we'll just rotate our top four? I think
we're going to rotate. I think, because even this season, Sancho started 25 games in the league. That's it.
But I think, is that not down to injury? I don't think that's
no, he played, like, he came off, like, the bench, like, 8 times. Like, he's fucking, like, and he got 16 assists.
What?
Yeah.
23 goal contributions in 25 starts. You imagine that?
That's what he got.
Liverpool, come on, yeah.
That's what, like, and if all of them play like 25 games each, like, one of them comes out for fucking 5 games and then the other one comes out. Like, if that.
No, I get that.
And it's not like all these players are going to be fit all season. Like, someone's going to get injured. That. And if someone gets injured and we have to go back to Lingard and Pereira, I'm going to kill myself.
No, I get that.
Like, it's not I can't be dealing with that shit anymore.
I'm thinking they're off just Mason Greenwood's.
Yeah, and
development, that's it.
Man,
just based on, look, I don't like admitting it, but he looks a real fucking player, man. He looks a real, like, he looks like the next sort of, I'm not going to say Ronaldo, because look, Ronaldo's top class, but like, if you're going to mould a player into that, like, he looks the closest to it this young.
The way his goal scoring is fucking amazing.
You know, like Mbappe and all, they're brilliant players, but this man, machine, like, he is a goal machine. He looks it.
He's like, that's the thing, I think if you played him, like, he's just always going to get a goal. Like, he's always around.
I agree with that.
Like, you can have a show game and then just fucking bang on it. Like, he's
Immobile, man, fucking Immobile. That's him. He's a beast. That's exactly what he does. He's brilliant, Immobile.
Yeah. But So I think So Sancho, like,
that would be my question to it. Look, as I said, it is Jadon Sancho, and you would say like 99, but who would make pretty much everything in the world better.
And it's
if you can like get him in to fit your system and like swap things around. Like, if you can't deliver for me, Salah will go front. For me, I'll drop to the cam. Or for me, I can even play in the centre mid role, like, because he's a walk machine. And Sancho go out on the right. Like, I think if Klopp ever went for that, he would make him fit into the system without dropping the tree. That's why I was asking. I didn't see the players there that Man United have that one of them could drop into cam.
Yeah, well, Sancho actually.
That would be. He possibly could.
Isn't going to drop out
and drop him into midfield. With a free fucking roll.
Yeah.
That was.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think we're going back to fucking the days of 4-4-2 flying fucking shit. We need a squad. Like we need that, having that front fucking team with Mason Greenwood or Marcus Rashford or Martial to come off the bench. It's fucking incredible. Like that's fucking. You can't really ask for more than that. Like, and then fucking. We think we need more creativity as backup as well. Like, so someone, and I do see us looking at him like apparently we're in for him. I see the price maybe putting us off, but someone like Jack Grealish, if we can get him for 50 mil, he's like, we don't. I don't
know. I don't know about Jack Grealish.
If Pereira, Lingard, and Mata are leaving, we need someone to replace them. We need someone to come in and be a backup in that as the way they are. Like.
Yeah, that would be fair. Yeah.
So, and I think Jack Grealish, like the way Bernardo Silva is for City, like if we had someone like that in that team that can come in and fucking play all these positions, like he can play right, he can play left, he can play in the middle, he can play 10, he can do all them fucking positions. So I think we need someone like that. We need an attacking.
Is he going to be happy to sit on the bench, but?
Well, that would be my question. Sitting on the bench, like I think he'll get a lot of games. I think because we have Champions League, I think all of these players are going to get a lot of games. They're all going to get enough football to keep them happy. It's not going to be a thing where fucking like in the big games, like in the biggest games, I don't think Jack Grealish starts for us. But in a game where say we have a big game coming up on the weekend and fucking we're playing Champions League midweek against some fucking team and like
you're saying you're open, man.
I know.
There ain't, like,
but it's not like Jack Grealish isn't fucking. Well, Jack Grealish isn't fucking like shit. Like he's not like he can't play against the top teams.
Yeah, no, it was more so if you're playing someone like
yeah, but if you're playing like a bottom fucking Michelin,
the weird I know, but
yeah. Well, if you play like a bottom team in like the group, like
they weird actually.
Yeah, well, fucking Salzburg were in and they're fucking fucking. Yeah, so I think as a player like that, they'd be my two priorities. I think actually, like even over centre back. No, actually, sorry, a defensive midfielder would be in ahead of an attacking midfielder for me. Like I think, Matic and Pogba like worked for a while as a midfield too, but it always happens. It happened when Matic first came into the team. That midfield looked so fucking solid. It looked so good. Matic was everywhere, bombing around, fucking doing everything in midfield. And the same happened kind of when Oli came in last season, where Matic came in and did a brilliant job, and then fucking went to absolute shite at the end of the season. And then the same has kind of crept in the last few games, like where Matic he looked dead in his feet, and you can't trust him to play 30 plus games a season. Like you just can't do it. Like his legs just won't be able for it. So we need someone in there. McTominay, you could say, could come in and play that, but he doesn't. He's not really he's more box to box. Like he's not really a fucking defensive midfielder. Like who comes back, takes the ball out. Fabinho or Fernandinho takes the ball out the centre backs, moves it forward, fucking does all that, and then fucking sits there and waits for the attack to happen, and then sits in between the two centre. Like them, that kind of defensive midfielder. He's not one of them. Like he likes to be in the final third. He has a decent shot on him. He's a good dribbler. Like but. And he's right in big. I've actually seen a stat that we've never lost a big game, like the top 6 game with McTominay tonight. But fucking yeah. So he plays well in the 4-2-3-1. But what I'd like to see is Oli move to a 4-3-3 next season with a sitter, and then Pogba and Fernandes as like 2 3/8s the way City kind of play. Yeah. So a DM. If Chelsea don't get him, like, and if you can get him for 50 mil, Declan Rice would be a fucking brilliant signing. Like I wasn't really too sure on him, and as an Irish fucker, I'd saying Grealish and Rice should sign for us. Saying Grealish and Rice should sign for us isn't fucking gonna win me much brownie points, but they're both quality players. You can't really deny it. But before I didn't really see it with Declan Rice. Like I saw him as like another overrated English fucking Eric Dyer basically is what I saw him as. Like
I agree. Well, he
but I've seen him in the last few games. It's not even just his fucking.
He dominates midfield,
and it's not even just his like winning the ball. Like some of his passes, he pings it. Like he's been brilliant. Like in
a struggling West Ham as well.
Like,
yeah, they've been
fucking
free falling. They've been struggling. I think it was like up until fucking
many points to finish. 5 points out of relegation. Like they were right down there. Like they were, I think was it gone to the last day.
And that's included. Like they've lost 1 match in the last 5. Like they were there, really thereabouts.
Proper there, like
for most of the season. So for him to stand out like in a season where they're struggling,
Mikel Antonio came in towards the end and did fucking brilliantly.
Yeah, like 8 goals or something. Yeah, I think he was top scorer after fucking the lockdown.
Maybe Martial, I don't know, one or the other. But yeah, so a DM, an attacking mid, and then a centre back. So if we got in 4 players, they would be me 4. I don't think that's a complete squad yet. I still think a left back could do with a bit more fucking, with a bit better. And
do you think he could? It's more so going forward, final ball, is it? With Luke Shaw.
Yeah, it's his final ball. It's just.
Do you think it could be just coached into him?
Maybe, but I don't know. Like he's never really
trained.
it's always been the case with him that Luke Shaw could be a fucking great fucking left back. Like I still think there's definitely a player in him, and Ollie has actually fucking improved him. Like
yeah, you can see it. Well, look, Lampard had him down off fucking. Sorry, not Lampard. Jose Mourinho had him like at rock bottom. Like he was out the door. He was nearly kicking him out for nothing. Like so Ollie's done pretty well.
Well, to bring him back in, and he's played well. Because he played fucking. Jesus Christ! Oh man, I'm getting PTSD. Young and Valencia as our fucking fullbacks for fucking 2 seasons. Sweet holy lord.
Maybe it was a really good game second.
But fucking but you didn't have to play. Valencia actually did alright at certain points. But
do you think of the low shoot, Josh? The low gone?
I think he's done. I think he doesn't rain, I think.
Do you think of back and Bruyne back? Or just have one?
We have eaten third. Wait till the Irish man to move.
Yeah, he will park right outside as well, guys.
It's right outside the door. Just so you know, this is a beautiful area, like it's amazing.
Oh, it's gorgeous, sunsets and everything over here.
Fucking yeah, so I think Laird is meant to be really good. I don't know if he's. I could see a sign in the backup like full back to play both sides, but I don't know. Like I think I could see the Low going maybe out on loan. I wouldn't be fucking surprised if the Low got thrown into the Sancho because he seems like a Dortmund player to me for some reason. Like he seems like a player that would.
But they have your man Hakimi, is it? He was the real player.
Is he Real Madrid, isn't he? He's on loan.
Oh, was he only on loan?
I think so. I think he's gone to like Inter now. I think he's going to Inter. I think like Real Madrid are selling him to Inter.
Holy shit, that's a good deal. He looked the real player for Dortmund this season. And that might be a good deal then for him.
I could see that like fucking happening and fucking so yeah, maybe a backup full. See, but other than that, like I think our squad is good. Our starting 11 is good. It's the squad like that's really the problem now. There's a few fucking player positions that we could improve in the starting 11. People are talking about a striker. That maybe a backup striker like Igalo is a good backup striker, but maybe
I think he's done alright.
He's done really well. Like, well, I think we could maybe improve. Like we were talking about fucking Jimenez and.
Well, you see, it's a lot of money for a backup. This is the same thing that I was talking about City. Like, I think going to spend 70 million on a backup is just it's stupidly.
Yeah.
But like he's Wolves' top scorer. Like,
yeah, he's 20. I think he's 40 million.
I don't know, man. 30 million then it'd be an O'Brien to get him. I think you're 50 million minimum.
You think so?
I do. Look, we did say earlier on Lacazette, you probably wouldn't get 50 million, but I think if Lacazette was getting 15, 16, 17, 18 goals in the season, like in the league, you might be saying maybe you would get 50 million.
Jimenez have like 27 goals in all competitions. He's a proper quality player, but it depends on what.
In fairness, that's his highest scoring season, like for him.
Well, last season he got like 12 or 13.
Yeah, he did.
He was pretty decent.
And he's played every minute, so coming into backup won't be. But it is like you do need the different option. Like you can't. There's no point bringing on a player who plays exactly like Martial. So you need to make the defence change. That's it.
His hold up play and everything is fucking
brilliant. That's it. Brings other players into it.
And that's yeah.
So. What would you grade Man United season then?
I'm going B. Depends on what happens in the Europa League. Maybe push it to like a B plus.
I'll go C plus, and I would say a B if they win Europa League. And I would say that based on the fact that I think look.
Did we give Chelsea a B though?
The first half.
Did we give them a C? I'm not sure what we get them.
I think we get them a C. Did we?
Maybe if we get them a C, then probably give C United C as well, maybe a bit more.
I just think, look, 66 points to get top 4 should be achievable. I think Man United at the start of the season, I understand injuries happen through the season, but I think the expectation through the season should have been top 4 anyway.
Yeah, I think no, like at the start of the
season, I would say
at
least challenge.
But at the start of the season, I didn't have United top 4. Like
we had Arsenal and Spurs, and they shit themselves. Like,
Arsenal and Leicester I had.
I was just basing the season, like I don't think Man United need to be had that utmost best for the whole season to get top 4, and they weren't,
that is true.
And they got it. So I don't think any team need to be at their utmost, because I think there was spells where Chelsea were shocking, Leicester towards the end of the season fell off, Spurs were shocking for a lot of the season, Arsenal were shocking for a lot of the season, picked it up obviously when Arteta came in, but even when Arteta came in, they were still losing matches that they could have been, they should have been winning on paper anyway. So for that I'm going to say C. I think if they do win
Europa League,
I think definitely a B.
I can see
B
that
plus probably as well, because it is a trophy. It's top 4.
Yeah, and you could not have asked more than that.
No, especially to get third, like you know, because then you look at it a different way. He's got a trophy, and he's came third. You know, it's just
Liverpool. Like it's hard to ask for anything more.
At the start of the season, that would be everyone. It was a given nearly. Yeah. Although there was question marks because Liverpool didn't spend anything really.
Yeah, but they were.
But they still squad
was at least.
But I say squad was start 11 was.
Yeah.
Start 11 was because us Liverpool as well. I would say squad was. I think we need a bit more depth. Like, I think we will push on to Liverpool. If you're happy enough.
Yeah.
Plus, well, idea. We don't want the video to be 6 hours long. You know what I mean? But yeah, so with Liverpool, I think the worst player this season, I'd say Shaqiri. Just
really,
he didn't play.
True.
It is hard to give it to him when he hasn't played. At the same time, Lovren's played a little bit, didn't really impress.
Surely Lovren. Every season.
You know, it's hard. I would say Lovren based on. I think he's played a tiny bit more than Shaqiri.
Yeah.
But
and
Shaqiri hasn't offered that.
You did you weren't great with him.
Yeah, very true. Our best player, I think, Sadio Mane.
Yeah, right. Here's what I need to fucking pick some beef up with this one. Jordan Henderson is not the player of the fucking year.
Yeah,
mate,
I agree.
What are you talking about?
I agree.
Fuck off! He's not even in top. I don't even think he's Liverpool's top 5 players, to be honest. I think Van Dijk, Salah, Mane, Alisson, and fucking maybe Firmino. No,
I would
probably
say Firmino.
Maybe
Fabinho's up there as well. Trent, Robertson. We've a lot of fucking podcast players. I think.
Henderson isn't in
For
there.
me, Mane did it much more.
Henderson, I think the player of the year should have been between Mane and
as well. Here's the thing, and I am going to say this because I am going to allude to. I can imagine in future episodes I'm going to say a couple of things and I'm going to get a lot of disagreements.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to base, and I'm not picking up for Henderson winning it because look, I don't think he should have either. But I really do feel it does come down to systems with teams, and I don't. For me, the telling stat is not goals and assists.
Oh no.
I wouldn't say that.
No.
Look, Henderson. No. His work rate and all is brilliant. He recovers the ball brilliantly. He has been a bit more. He's been our most creative player, I think, in terms of the midfield that we had.
Yeah, but other than Trent,
obviously Trent and Robertson. I'm talking about the midfield trio that we have. Like, so I think like for Liverpool, he's like done literally every job.
I'm not saying he hasn't been great. I'm not saying he hasn't. He's been had a fantastic season.
Look, the whole football of the year is hard. For me, Mane gets it.
I don't even think Mane. I think De Bruyne is like nailed on. Like, to be honest, like I think he's been.
I don't know, but like every year it seems to be like oh, Salah shouldn't have got it last year because he didn't win the league. But then Mane because he didn't win the league, then Henderson.
But yeah, well, they both did though. Van Dijk got it last year, didn't win the league. Salah got it the year before, didn't win the league.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but the whole reason for not winning, like people's like were like, oh, Van Dijk shouldn't have won it because he didn't win the league. But then when he wins it this year, it should have been.
I've always said that's bollocks.
I agree. Look,
the best player in the league is the best player in the league. Kevin De Bruyne has had one of the best seasons ever. Like he equaled the Premier 20 assists in the league and 14 goals.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. For me, what I think Mane
has been Liverpool's best player.
Yeah, I do. I think he would be up there for player of the year, and I think De Bruyne would be up there too. Definitely. I don't get how Henderson did win it in the end, but
it's just a media thing. It's just it takes up traction. Someone says it. Oh, Henderson's been one of the best.
English,
and then it's just build up, and then fucking.
But look, he's been solid. He's been brilliant. I couldn't ask for a better fucking midfielder. He seems like a really, really nice guy as well. And I am delighted that he lifted the trophy.
And the story is kind of what fucking seems like it's another thing that's contributed.
It is like fucking a couple of years ago he was being swapped for Clint Dempsey. Like, what a fucking decision we made keeping him because Jesus Christ, like. But that's the sort of team that we were in. Like, and that's why Klopp, for me, we have to start off talking about Klopp because, like, he's done it. Like, he's done everything he said he was going to do. He's done.
Took him off
and he's done it with flair. He said, he said in 4 seasons he's going to win the league.
And he did.
And it's been. I know we won't count the 4th season because it wasn't a full season. You can count if you want. So we say 5 seasons, but in 4 seasons he won the Champions League. Then he took us back to the top. And that was the dream. It wasn't even like Klopp's going to do it. That was, oh please do it. That was a dream that Klopp was going to do that. Like, he done it with flair. We play really good football. I love watching Liverpool. Like, Trent and Robertson.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to take a minute because man, Trent, his passes when he switches the ball, it's like it like he does it every game now. It's his little thing. He's such a good player. I think the downside is now. For Liverpool fans, I think, because we don't do a lot in the transfer market. But as I said already in the video, like I don't like. I'm not worried. I don't. If we went out and signed one player, if we go out, we're looking at Jamal Lewis at the minute. If we go out and just sign Jamal Lewis, fair enough. It's the thing that fucks you up is because Man United are going out and spend 100 million on Jadon Sancho, and you have Man City going to spend 200 or 300 million. Like, that's really what fucking. You're like, shit, why don't we sign? Like, you know, we need to be up there. While we're on top, we need to like make sure we stay up there. But as I said, I don't want Liverpool to be going and spending 100 million on a backup player. Or
no.
or changing out or all the tactics to fit in a player.
Like Klopp wouldn't do that way. Like no,
I think we need to address areas of where we can improve. I think Lovren's now gone. I think we do need a centre back. I don't think we need a starting centre back, but I think we need a centre back that can come in and that it bridges the gap of quality. Like Matip is up there. He comes in. It's not a big shift in quality.
Yeah.
I think someone better than Lovren, but who doesn't mind not starting every week. Because I think in defence, like you do want to get like a set. You want to have like a back four that stays in most weeks and doesn't obviously injuries.
I think you do need someone in there.
I know I linked with your man Kabak off Schalke, and I think he's had a decent season. I don't know much about him, so I'm not going to say much. Jamal Lewis would definitely shore up the left back position. Like he's very similar to.
Is this what, like are these
to the
Robertson
players
story, that you need to kick on here? Like is Jamal Lewis and the backup centre back? Like is that going to do?
Well, you can say that, but here's the thing. So Robertson came in for 8 million from Hull.
Yeah.
And at the time, even me at the time, no, he's not. But if Klopp, which is what he's done with pretty much every player, like Fabinho come in, and for me, Fabinho comes in, he's going to start every week. He didn't start for the first 3 months. Because Klopp wanted to integrate what he wanted him to do when he came in, and he's one of the best DMs in the league, top 2, I would say, in the league. I would probably edge him over Fernandinho this season.
Yeah, based on this season.
But I'd say this season's been the best. Yeah, but we're going to compare him with Fernandinho last season, like. You know, it's a bit of a difference in it, like. But like Klopp will bring in players, and I know personally, well, I don't know, but based off of experience, he's going to make these players better. So this Jamal Lewis that is coming in, this isn't going to be the Norwich Jamal Lewis. Like this is going to be a different type of player. Klopp wants to. He's not going to play every week either, because I don't think anyone dislodges. Like we could have bought any left back in the world. Robertson doesn't drop.
No.
He doesn't drop. Like.
No.
You can make it. You could say we buy Alaba, but Alaba doesn't start for us.
No, I don't think he does.
He doesn't start for us.
Robertson is like.
You know, so we do need someone that's going to be happy enough, and the scouts would have scouted Jamal Lewis, and they'd be looking at it and saying like, yeah, you can integrate him in a tournament.
It's a good sign. I think that is a good sign. I think Jamal
Lewis is a good sign. I get what you're saying.
Is it going to take his like back to the title next season? Like?
I don't know. Not solely him, but I think if we play the way we played this season, here's the thing. It's so hard because teams are going to up the game when they play Liverpool now. Because we're the champions. This is the game we want to win. This is why we come up to the Premier League. If we lose to the other top 6, it doesn't matter. If we can beat Liverpool or draw with Liverpool, get a point against Liverpool. We don't. The problem that Liverpool have for me, attacking 3 for me is brilliant. And we're going to touch on Firmino very soon because I'm not liking a lot of shit that's going around about him. But the problem that we have is we don't have a gap. Like the gap from quality on the starting 11 to on our bench is too big in the attack. For me, like Salah, Mane, Firmino, you take one of them out and you bring on. For me, Origi doesn't bridge that gap.
He's decent, but
he's a different option because he's the tall striker and he might nick it a goal or two. He scored very important goals. Barcelona.
Origi's a good player. Like,
I do like him and he's a good option. And I do see a lot of people saying like, oh, maybe we should sell him. But
I think he's need
like
more.
Ryan Brewster for me is not gonna do it. Like he looks good. I think he needs Premier League experience before we start committing to just having him as a backup striker. A lot of people, he looks alright in the
Premier League.
And Chelsea have done it. Like they got Tammy Abraham and they made him out. Like they brought him straight in and they kicked on. Like, but Ryan Brewster's not going to be playing every week. And I keep mentioning like to get consistent and to become consistent, you need to play every single game. Or you need to play a lot of games in a row. Like you can't just come in for one game and just expect to score.
You definitely.
I think Ryan Brewster for me needs experience before we can start saying right, he's a backup and we can rely on him as a backup. But I think we need a winger because for me Shaqiri needs to go. I think Shaqiri's time is up. I don't think he's played enough, and I think we need. For me, we mentioned Sarr for Leicester, but Sarr would be perfect.
He'd be a great signing.
He'd be an absolute brilliant signing. He bridges that gap. I think he's a bit better than Shaqiri. He bridges the gap to Salah Mane as in replacement. Because to me, I think we're one bad forward injury away from like the thing is right. They say, oh, if Salah gets injured, Liverpool might win the league. If Salah gets injured, we might even qualify for the top 4.
Oh, it's not that fucking bad, man.
Because who comes in, man?
Shaqiri's not bad.
But is he top 4 quality? I don't know if he is.
Origi or Shaqiri probably are top 4 quality. I'd say.
I don't know. If Origi leaves, who does he go to? He doesn't go to anyone top 6.
I think he goes to I think he'd work for like a Leicester or something.
Maybe.
For Wolves.
I don't know if he does. I don't think he starts for Wolves.
I think he starts for Leicester, probably off the left.
I don't know if he does, man. They like Harvey Barnes, I think.
He's not as good as Origi though.
Like he lacks a bit of like end product for me. Like
I don't know.
He comes on, he can get a goal, and he scored important goals. Jesus Christ, don't get me wrong. All hail Thibaut Garrigue, like he's we love him for some of the goals he scored. But it's just I think the gap in quality is too big for me. That I actually think like a Mane or Salah injury would cripple. I'm not saying we won't finish in top 4, don't get me wrong, but I think if one of them gets, say we go into September or October, right, and Salah Mane gets injured, and we're for 3 or 4 months like, we're not challenging for top 4, we're challenging for top 4, or we're not challenging for title, we're challenging for top 4.
He's to be very, very lucky if he's go through next season without a Salah or Mane or fucking like a Van Dijk injury, like, because
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like that's why we definitely need a centre back, but we need to bridge we need to get the gap. Yeah. Like we need better than Lovren, because we are a Van Dijk injury away from I wouldn't say fucking the whole defence up, because I think Joe Gomez and Matip would be alright. I don't think they've been tried enough.
Even like even a different like fucking even for Hughes, like I think it might be a bit expensive. Like but even like if you get him 50 million, like a Jack Grealish I think would work for Hughes, or a Buendia would work for Hughes. Like someone that
I don't know. Look, I thought that myself. I thought that's what we needed. But watching since the comeback,
but he plays off out wide. Like it's not.
But then he needs to play for me. Like I think if Klopp was going to spend 40, 50, 60 million, he might not bring him in and say right, you're starting every week from now, because he doesn't really do that anymore. I don't know. But I think he needs. I don't think
he'd be happy to go to a club like a top club and like
maybe he would. Maybe he would. Look, I get that, mate. He might be.
Game, like,
but I don't think Klopp. You have to think of the manager who's going to play the player.
Well, maybe not. But I think
Klopp for me does not go at 60 million. I wouldn't mind Buendia,
because again, like the third or fourth most chance of creating Premier League.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind someone like him. But for me, I think Naby Keita is going to be like a new signing for us next season.
So you don't think you need a midfielder like a proper fucking.
I think.
Like a proper creative, technical like midfielder.
I think it wouldn't hurt us if we got one.
I think,
but I don't think it's priority. I think we need backup for advanced areas, especially if we're going to sell someone like Shaqiri. I think we need a wing like Sarr. I think we need to get a centre back in, and I think we need a backup left back. And then I think right, fair enough, because then our bench becomes with Jamal Lewis on the bench, we have Ismail Sarr on the bench. I think if we either keep Origi or Shaqiri, we have one of them on the bench. I think if we bring in a midfielder, it would be a bonus. Like if say we did bring in a Thiago, for example, because I know we are linked with him. That's why I'm going to mention Thiago. If we bring in Thiago, to have him, or not even him, have like Wijnaldum or Henderson or something like that on the bench, or Naby Keita on the bench to come on off the bench. It gives us a bit more, and it's a different option, and it makes our squad depth much bigger.
Yeah. And like a player that's going to be fucking, even like with Thiago being injury prone, so you can manage his load like with fucking.
Because we have the fucking the players there. Like Klopp does like
the need a player every week, like.
Exactly, and he does like to have them 3 engines in midfield that's just going to get forward.
I
think he was trying to implement Naby Keita into that, but injuries haven't helped him.
I think it is a good thing. I think he's actually like he's have a lot of depth in midfield actually. I think, but it's like he's don't have that one. Like there's one player kind of that he's missing. I think like one of them technical. But remember the fucking like with Lallana going out as well. I think he's probably just need a bit more backup, a bit more depth in there. But like I remember the game with
Chamberlain as well. But
I remember the game we played against fucking Chamberlain.
Since his injury, he's fell off.
But
like he was really good.
He just shoots. He just gets the ball and shoots. It's what
it's what he's a centre mid. What we want to do is drive from midfield, and normally if someone's driving that from midfield, it should create openings for either the wide man or the forward to run in behind.
But he just shoots.
He just shoots.
But fucking, I did the ball. I want to know like fucking when we played Hughes the first game we played when we went 1-0 up, and then like Klopp changed his whole midfield. Like he took like all of the midfielders off and brought on different types of midfielders. Like he brought on fucking like Lallana and I think fucking Oxlade-Chamberlain come on now. Like he brought on like kind of more attacking fucking players to come on. So I think it's good that you have them options to fucking.
Of course it is, and I'm not saying get rid of them. I wouldn't say that. I think we're losing Lallana. There's talk. I think it was Wijnaldum. For me, if Wijnaldum is gone, I think Thiago is a done deal.
Is Wijnaldum gone?
Hasn't signed a deal yet.
When's his contract up? Next season.
Well, I think like being Liverpool, I'm guessing. If he turns down the deal, which I can't see him doing, to be honest. I can imagine him sell him on.
Where did he go though?
I don't know. I'd say something like in Italy or France maybe. Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
I don't know if he starts for them.
Was he a system player or is he like an actually fucking?
I think he is a system player.
So would he work like as well in another fucking team? Does he play well for Holland? I think he plays decent.
Yeah, he's brilliant for Holland.
Yeah, so fair enough then.
Like I did, but for me, for Liverpool, this transfer market, because look, Klopp didn't spend any money last year, and I'm not saying you should go out and fucking spend 150 million, because I don't think we should. I don't think we need that much improvement. But what we do need is we need an attacking player that's going to bridge the gap. Like we are one of them injuries away. I think that we need a striker. I would say maybe not to replace Firmino, but just as an option. I suppose Salah is there and we have Origi, but then that's why we need a wide player, like because if Salah goes up, you can't play Chamberlain is being tried on the right wing, and again. A bit of like Chamberlain's problems this season have mirrored sort of his problems at Arsenal, where he wasn't brought into a regular position. You know, like he was trying the right this season and on the left and in cam and in centre mid, and instead of just saying, right, you're centre mid, we need to get you in there. And obviously that comes down to performances on the day, because Henderson or Fabinho are playing brilliant, so you're going to play with Cam, or Mane hasn't had a good game, we bring you on and see what you can do on the left, or you know what I mean, and or Firmino hasn't had a good game, so Salah you go front, or Mane you go front, we bring you on the right or left, and he hasn't. Whereas he was starting in Cam, or starting in centre mid for us, and that's when he was getting more games.
Fair, like, was he actually like? Was the whole like Oxlade-Chamberlain's actually good thing? That wasn't just because of that goal against City. Like he was actually playing well.
No, he was playing well. There was a couple of times he scored. I think he scored 2 goals against City as well.
In the Champions League, I remember it was the quarters, wasn't it?
Yeah, he scored a belter, but he scored a goal similar to that.
That's what I'm saying. Like the goal that he scored, like was one time where he's.
He scored against West Ham, and he was scoring a couple of goals where he was getting in good positions and he was setting up goals and he was winning the ball back, and he was doing things. Like when you watch him, this is the thing. Obviously me and Dylan, obviously we don't watch every single game that they play, like, you know, so we can only judge it off, say, some highlights or you know what I mean. We can't actually say, like, we can't watch him for 90 minutes and say he actually put in a good shift, but he didn't do any fucking highlight reel moments. You know what I mean? For me, Chamberlain this season hasn't, since his injury, I would say, hasn't been at the level as he was before he got injured. Like he was playing at the highest level I've seen him play.
But that was like for them last 6 months kind of before the 4 Champions League finals, wasn't it? Like from like January to the end of that season.
Like a year. I think it was Rome he got injured against. We made a tackle, so I think that was about April. So it would have been a year in April, I think. Where maybe it wasn't April, start of April. Would have been a year in April, like that. He fucking nearly a year and a half, like. He just hasn't picked it up, and it was a long injury. Like he was out for a long time. No, it wasn't a year in April. It was 2 years in April. It was the year before that. Like.
It was the year before.
He was out for like nearly a year. Like so, he only come back. And in fairness, you have to fucking.
So he was good from like probably like December of that season to like April.
November, December to April. He started to pick up, and like we were starting to see a much better fucking Oxlade-Chamberlain. For me, that was the best I've seen Oxlade-Chamberlain. But he hasn't picked up that level, he hasn't got to that level yet. In fairness, again, he hasn't been playing consistently enough. But you can't just, it's hard to say where he's played that well a year and a half ago. Let's put him in ahead of Henderson, who's been having a really good game, you know. So in fairness to Klopp, he's tried to play him when he can play him, but Klopp, he can't just take players out for playing well, because what message does it send? Like, you know, and the same with Keita. Keita's got injured a lot this season, but he only played him when he felt the need to play him. You know, when he was trying to rest other players, the season was over, he was trying to rest other players, so Keita, you can come in and have a run. And now next season, he's had to put himself in with a chance to start. So Naby Keita, if he does start at the start of next season, he needs to kick on, otherwise Wijnaldum or Henderson or whoever isn't playing will come in and pick it up, and that's what happens at Liverpool. And there's healthy competition in the midfield. The full-backs, thank God they've been brilliant, because we didn't have much competition. Neco Williams looks okay. I don't think he's ever going to dislodge.
Like if any, like see, if them players get injured or fucking like, surely he can't go through another season without them like proper fucking important players getting injured. Like I know Alisson was, but like if fucking Robertson or Trent or fucking.
But that's what I'm saying. Jamal Lewis could come in and have to play a couple of matches, and he does. And Neco Williams is not shy.
Really. Yeah, but they're not like.
They're not at
that's
the
where your creativity comes from.
And that's yes.
So like if they go out, like you're not gonna fucking get. Like,
especially after losing the land, like. But that's why, like, we do need another attacker. For me, we need another attacker, regardless if we had a sold down or not. We need another attacker. I think we sell Shaqiri. We like. I think we need maybe 3 or 4 players.
Probably.
And it's not starting players. Our starting 11 for me is perfect. Like I like it. You could question maybe it can like a number 10. You could. I do think Keita's going to be a different player next season for me if he starts and he avoids injury, because I think what we seen at the end of last season, I'd happily take that going into next season if he can consistently do that. Like, I think he's a different player. Going out, I don't know if I'm all about Origi going. I think I'm all Shaqiri can go. I think Shaqiri can go. I think because he didn't make much of an impact on us this season. You know, and I think we can get in a player. Season, he was okay when he came on.
Against us, got
that was the best thing he's done, to be honest.
But, best for us as well, for fuck's sake. Not fuck around.
Fucking Ismaila Sarr, as I keep saying, I think he would bridge the gap a little bit. I think if we could get Thiago, because he can play in the number 8, he can play in the midfield, he can play in the DM, would be a good sign. I think Jamal Lewis, we could, if you wanted to say, if you're going to get rid of Origi, then I would say you need to replace him. And I don't mean Ryan Brewster. I think you need someone. But just because I think Ryan Brewster needs to go back out on loan, for me.
I think you can get to a Premier League squad, like,
one of the teams that come up, like Fulham, I don't know if Fulham will go from. Who's the Fulham come up? Leeds come up, and West Brom. Oh man, maybe West Brom might, or maybe one of the teams in it, like the Bruyne.
How many did he score in I know he only go in January.
Yeah, I think he has 8 goals or something like that.
It's not bad.
8 or 9 goals. It's not that bad, but he looks like a good finisher.
Does he need like a fucking? Like,
I think he needs a Premier League. Yeah, that's why he needs.
I don't know if any teams in Premier League are actually starting every game.
That's the.
Like if
he needs to get at least 20 games this season for Premier League.
I remember Tammy Abraham fucking played for Swansea a few years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. He came in and played the season for them as a striker.
The only thing why I think he possibly could, like he got 8 goals in say 14, 15, 16, 17 games, which is a goal every second game, right? Which isn't the worst in championship level, and he looked decent. Like that's the reason people are saying he should come back and start for Liverpool. But if you take it out or be a backup in Liverpool, if he can't start for one of the clubs like in the bottom 5 of the league, well then you know what I mean, he shouldn't be in with a shout to play for us. Like he needs to go out on loan for me, get Premier League quality, or even go to one of the top leagues. And I'd rather him get Premier League. Obviously, you'd rather him get Premier League experience. But say someone in Serie A or someone might take a punt on him there. Build up experience against the top clubs.
He's not like a physical fucking striker.
No, he's not. He's like in behind. Now, Firmino can hold up the ball, as we know.
Yeah. I'm saying like will it like small, because usually them lower down teams they kind of look for them kind of fucking players who can hold the ball up and bring people in the play, like hoof the ball up and basically. Unless
you're one of the big teams. Yeah, that's actually very true. Or else you see if you're a team that just sits 2 banks of 4 like and plays counter,
you have 2 strikers up. Like if you have a big striker and him one behind, like Burnley maybe. They usually fucking Bruyne are mad because they play with 2 fucking target men balls. They play with 2 fucking.
Chris Wood be the beast. What 30 goals this season?
It was 15, was it, or 14?
Fucking hell! Chris Wood, you monster.
You seen this fucking Jeff Hendrick shit? And like AC Milan and all.
Fuck off.
Sky and all I'm saying, AC Milan.
Republic of Ireland, man. Tell you now. World Cup winners next.
I can't wait.
But yeah, just a quick one on Firmino, man. And I really, this is why I don't fucking. I get, he hasn't scored a lot of goals. But like if Firmino comes over a team, Salah and Mane doesn't get as many goals as they get from me.
Probably not, no. But
like he is the way Fernandinho was the cog for City, as you said. Yeah. Firmino was your cog.
Yeah. It's his position. It's more his movement than his fucking dragging players out. So
he pulls out, makes space, and look, I love him. Get the balls and I'm sure Firmino would fucking love to be getting 15, 20 goals a season.
It's not even just it's not about just the fact that he doesn't. Like it's not that he doesn't score. It's that he gets chances to score and doesn't score them. Like he misses a lot of chances. Like
he's not clinical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's not as clinical as he should be. But he also scores goals that he shouldn't score.
Yeah, he does that.
You know what I mean? So it sort of flips the coin in that way. You know what I mean? It's not like he's just shy. Like he's link up players, top class. And I've seen people saying like, "Oh, Liverpool need to replace him." Man, Liverpool, Klopp will not replace him. No. Klopp has never come out and said, "Oh, let me goal scorer to score." He's never even looked like. Yeah. Like he's played every minute as much as he can.
How is this front three gonna go? Because they're all 28, are they? 28, 29.
Yeah, I think so. 27, 28. So you see, like, so at the top there, for me, they have 2 or 3 seasons. Yeah. At the top left. I don't know what the thinking is.
Do you cash in before they get to that level? Like,
I don't know if you cash in at all.
Before they get to fucking.
I don't know if you cash in at all. Like
is that front three gonna say if you go fucking right next season, like they score fucking 15, like they score 40 goals between them, let's say in the league, like, and then the season after they score like 30 goals, like do you wait until these drop off completely?
But I don't know. See, Liverpool fans are all, like, not every Liverpool fan. Just don't get me wrong. It's just Twitter. Some, you know what Twitter's like, and some fans are like, we need to sign big players, and we need to make. And I get the argument for it. I do get why we're at top. We need to replace these players or get in players that can do, as you said with Sancho. Yeah. That City have. Yeah. But City aren't setting the benchmark. I don't want to be like City. Obviously, everyone wants to have the best players.
But I do think you need like at least like 14, maybe like 14, 15. Like
yeah, I agree with that. Like. You do, and I think right now we have. I'd say we have 12, 13 at push, and I think we are 2 or 3 top class players short. One of them being an attacker, and one of them being possibly a midfielder, possibly. Because we do need, like, if someone gets injured, we have to cover our midfield. In fairness, maybe at the back we need like someone who can play both sides, who's good, right and left back. Jamal Lewis would be a good signing, but he can't play right back. Neco Williams for me doesn't have enough experience maybe at the Premier League level. That if Trent gets injured, like, you know, because we see Mourinho target Trent, like, with Man United, like, and it did work. He's got 2 goals from it.
Defensively, like, you can.
But the system, that's why systems suit. Like, Trent couldn't go to Man United of 2 seasons ago. He couldn't. Even now, he wouldn't be as prolific as he is.
He'd be a midfielder or a winger or something.
You know what I mean? He fits in Liverpool because of how we play and because of the way the forwards are. Like, Firmino pulls out, gives space for the Mane to run in behind. Trent can fucking hell can he swing a ball in, man. His set pieces, like, he has a lot. He has it all. He is very close to Steven Gerrard playing right back. Like, he is that good. Like, he has the shot, he has the technical ability. Like, defensively, he fair enough, but he could sit in CDM, I think, or centre mid and play absolutely brilliantly.
Yeah, I think he'd work even for like a fucking Pep in that kind of role, like a fucking like a 6 where he just fucking.
You know, he could do that role, and that's a good option to
have.
have.
Prefer he's more like him, or he passes than just fucking like little neat fucking.
He can do them as well, I'm sure. Like, but that's what he wants. Like, he could be another option to fucking trying to break down the defence further up. You know, he does it from the right. He could do it from central, maybe. That little ball over the top, little ball on the ground, you know.
Things in the back fucking post and shit like from there. Fucking the way the Bruyne plays, like where he operates in that kind of area. Like,
he finds a space and then picks it out with the pass.
He's a cross in there for his fucking like one of his biggest things. The Bruyne, like, even though he's not a winger, like
because he's free to go, so he can go to the left, whip it in, go to the right, whip it in, come centre, knock one over the top. Like, he does it all. And he has it, like. And Trent has that sort of ability. I wouldn't say he's the Bruyne's level now, like. But he's playing it right back, and he's had like, he broke the record 2 years in a row for assists. 13 this season, 12 last season. Robinson got 11 last season, 12 this season. Like, that is how we play. That is how Liverpool play. Like, and like I'm happy with where Liverpool are at. I don't feel stressed about transfer windows. I used to be like, who we signed? We signed Balotelli and Ricky Lambert. I don't. Fuck, them days are gone, man.
Like, it's mad. Like, it's mad how fucking various have come in. Like,
that's what he's done.
Fucking, it is, like, it's unbelievable.
He's done unbelievable, and he's done it with swagger. And look, I just want to touch on the Nesbend thing because it is a thing.
It is.
Of course it is, because if Coutinho doesn't go, Alisson and Van Dijk don't come in. And I'm not going to say that we don't. So maybe we still could sign Van Dijk.
I don't know.
Maybe, but Alisson, both don't come in. I tell you that much for nothing.
Maybe.
And that's how football is different. Like.
I think Coutinho just wanted out, didn't he? Like,
he did want out, yeah.
So I think, I don't know, like,
but it was still down to, for me, it was still down to Klopp whether to sell him or not. Like, you know what I mean? It was down to him. He doesn't want them at the club. He didn't. He told them, look, stay here. He was right in what he said to him.
Would you take him back?
Depends on the fee. I wouldn't be spending that now. Spent on him.
But even like, obviously not.
You know what I mean? Like,
obviously 140
even 70, 80 million, I wouldn't be spending on him.
Would you take him on loan next season?
Possibly.
Option to buy, maybe.
Option to buy, yeah, of maybe 40, 50 million. And see if he still proves that he has the quality. Like, yeah, we'll take him then.
Does he fit as a system anymore?
He could fit it in a way that he could play centre mid, maybe.
Does he have that kind of like energy and shit?
He had it before he left.
Did he press and like win the ball back and shit? Like?
Yeah. Maybe not as much as what we have now. Like, obviously with Ronaldo and Henderson and Fabinho, like, they're more, you know, that type of midfielder. Like, but he's technically better than them. So if he can offer some of what they offer in terms of like getting back and getting stuck in, and you know what I mean, well then why not? I would take him back on loan, cheap loan. I wouldn't be spending 18, 20 million, which is what's rumored to be spent. It's not my money. I get that. Like, it's like, why you? I'm just like, because Klopp doesn't want to do shit like that. Like, I don't know if Liverpool, honestly, if Liverpool went out and signed Mbappe next season, I'd be like, wouldn't even surprise me, man. I don't see why Klopp is not spending money. It's not even like he's buying in young players. Like, I don't even like. Oh, we bring in like a couple of 6-7 million players and try to implement them into the team or put them into the youth. Or he's not really buying many players. Like, he spent like 4 million last season.
So you think he's just like saving or something for fucking Mbappe?
Is it? Like, would it surprise you? That's just a big shout. Like, maybe not. He probably. But all I know is he knows what he's doing, and I'm really happy with him with the way.
Like, if he fucking sold your whole team, you just have to trust him.
Yeah, he has a plan. Like, he knows what he's doing. And whether we sign, it's frustrating to see other teams go out and spend hundreds of million, because it's always nice to sign a big player, like, you know. But I completely trust Klopp. I'm ready for the next season already.
I'm actually at the stage now where I'm close to saying that, like, based on what he's done, depends on what he does over next season. I know he hasn't, but taking the team from where it was to where it is, he might be like just second after Fergie. Like,
I would say that. Like, I would easily say that. Like, the thing is, like, right, and
Mourinho,
here's what I always find it hard.
For.
Right, you can say the problem with comparing them to Ferguson is that Ferguson's done it for like fucking 19, 20, 25 years.
Built
you know what I mean?
4 teams and fucking
he's done it for that long. Like, so my point is, what if Klopp stayed at Liverpool for 20 years, he could do. We could get 5, 6, 7 titles out of Klopp in the next 15 years.
Yeah, but not tournament.
I know, yeah, but football is different now, man. You know, when, like if you had a good team then, like there wasn't much money to throw around that you could go out and buy 6 top class players, like.
Yeah, but like we didn't really I don't know.
No, you didn't do that, but I'm saying teams trying to bridge the gap.
Yeah, like most teams, like outspent us, like Liverpool outspent us in the 90s and 2000s, like all.
And yeah, definitely in 2000, we always signed shite players, except for obviously Alonso and Mascherano and players like that.
But fucking I don't know. See.
Well,
it depends. The thing is, like, if like it depends on what he does, like, because if I don't think he'll ever get to this stage, because I think he'll.
I think he will.
But I don't know. But I'm saying I don't think he'd ever get to Fergie's level, to be honest. But what I'm saying is about fucking like with Mourinho and Wenger, like they're the other two that are in there. I don't think Pep's in there. Mourinho and Wenger, like their first few seasons, I think you would put them above Klopp but based on their last fucking while in charge of the clubs that they were, like their like Mourinho's last 5 years has been fucking awful, and then like Wenger's last what was it, like 10 years, over 10 years?
Like a lot of years, like he started to fall off it, like it was Wenger out for like 5 seasons before he actually left, like
so because of that I'd put him probably above them, but it depends on what, because he hasn't had that long.
Yeah, but that's it, like, it's hard to compare, and like when they look back on teams and shit, like you can't. Liverpool, for me, this is the benchmark, like they're only starting for me now. I know Salah and Firmino, Mane, they're 27, 28. For me, they still have 2, 3, 4 seasons.
I think this Liverpool team is going to start. I don't think he's getting 99 points next season. I don't know.
We got 97 last season. Like maybe we have peaked already, but I don't know.
I think he's might. I don't know. We'll see, because I can't say, because I thought he did last year.
For me, I think teams are going to come out and go at us now. But I think teams like we're going to be the team to beat, and that's what we need to carry. That's why we're tying the title so hard.
When you were saying fucking like, when you were saying that fucking like the teams, like for years or whatever, but like I think. Because of what happened towards the end of the season, and I know the league was wrapped up and all, I know like that was the thing, but because if teams see that and they think, oh, maybe you can get at them, like maybe you can do this, maybe you can do that, like even
but the thing is, right, you can say that and I get that, but then you have to think, as a fan, I'd rather teams come out and attack us, because we're better in transitions. That's when Liverpool are at that. Pep has said that and all. He said, oh, Klopp is the hardest team. He said they're best without the ball. We are best without the ball. We're also good with the ball, which is what Klopp has brought. Like we were always good with the ball, but without the ball we were like, we're going to concede here. Klopp has transformed that into like we're more dangerous without the ball. So that's I would rather little teams come out and attack us. Salah Mane would
is like, but I don't know.
But think all we
confidence, like I think, because like with Liverpool, like for I think this season a lot of it has just been. I think even though
teams for me come out and sat back against us this season.
I think teams were beaten like in the like I know it's a cliche, but I think teams were beaten in the tunnel.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like it's just like, oh, we're showing up, we're gonna get thumped. That's it.
For me, it was more so like it was never let's even get a win here. It was more so let's not lose against Liverpool. I think that might change now. It'd be like these are champions, we're not expected to do it.
And let's get at them. A few times, like without
like
some of them big moments in the season, like
literally last minute, and it was
Sheffield as well. You scored a fucking late goal against.
No, I think it was
mistake. Maybe you were 2-0 up, and then
1-0. No, you're right with Ronaldo. That was like 84th minute. I wasn't in there. One of them scored.
Then I scored a penalty at one point as well, didn't he? To win a game for you.
I think so. Henderson was against Spurs.
Henderson goal, where the ball came over to him and he just
sweet. It was like there has been a lot of that, but I think teams have come out and been like, right, we'll take the draw here, like, and we've just got, and that's the difference, like, and that's what I would say. There's 12, 15 points there.
I don't think he's scored many. I think he's scored less, conceded more this season, but he's a game managed much better. Like game
management has been great. Like we can now win by a goal. To say that about Liverpool, that's another thing Klopp has done. Like he's literally, man, we were the worst defensive team.
Awful.
Like we were shy.
Awful.
We were so bad.
See, this is the thing about Rodgers. I think like that. I don't know if he can fucking organise defence. Like I don't know if he can. And what I'm really worried about with Leicester is that like if he gets trouble control of signings, they're fucked. Fucking Ricky Lambert wheeled out and fucking
Mario Balotelli back in action. Yeah, he wasn't great for us. Like, but I just from where we were and where we are now, like it's
a different level. Like, it's a different
really
level, but like,
and that's why I do trust. Like, we could lose Salah and Mane, and I hope it doesn't happen. Jesus Christ, of course, but we could, and I would be happy that Klopp is going to go out and find replacements. Obviously, not to their level; it's going to be hard. Like, but I would be happy. And I think here's the thing: I think if there's a deal going on, and we lose Salah, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Say Salah left yesterday or today. I don't know if Liverpool go after Jadon Sancho.
Don't think so.
I'm not saying that. He might, and I might be completely wrong. I don't know if Klopp is in to spend 120 million on players, or maybe I could be wrong. We did spend 75 on Van Dijk. But that was more a needs must. We had to get a centre back, like, you know what I mean. Again, that would be a needs must. We need to play Salah. You know? So maybe I'm talking on my arse there, but like, I don't know. It just doesn't suit him. Like, I would fucking love him, Mbappe. I tell you that.
I see poor Newcastle. See all the things he put together, all the graphics and all.
But guys, let us know what you think. Let us know if you agree with our ratings.
We didn't give Liverpool a rating actually.
An A, obviously. They won the league after 30 years. Like A plus. I didn't even need a rating in fairness.
A plus Liverpool.
Now hopefully they can do it again next season. From my point of view, obviously didn't have as many.
No, worst season we
fucking. Guys, let us know if you agree.
Never thought it happened.
Have you been too harsh on some of our ratings? Do you agree with our worst signings? With the best players of the season, the worst players of the season? Grades, let us know in the comments. Any questions, we will use them obviously in any future episodes.
You can give us like fucking future topics and all, give us recommendations for
yeah, definitely, and tell us anything, any questions that you have, we'll definitely answer them.
You can put them in the comments below, or you can put it in our Twitter, which we will leave in the description.
As we said, yeah, and we'll show you a question as well in the video, so we might give us a little shout out as well if you send us a name. But look guys, until the next one, bye.